Gun-toting, Bible-reading, God-believing, truth-speaking American. This MAGA season, Democrats committing treason. I know they think it's sweet, but you don't know who you dealing with. It's for free thinkers only. You ain't got no membership. They free. General Flynn out the cage, cause he innocent. Martin Roger Stone, cause the run know that he innocent. We need to kick out every single illegal immigrant. Mandatory voter ID laws we need to implement. Tell Jussie Smollett that I know this MAGA country. Tell China we know they tryna play us like some dummies. I looked deep into it and I did the math. Why did Obama send money to that Wuhan lab? What is George Soros doing with all of his cash? Why did China take that Harvard guy and drop him a bag? Why is there so much propaganda? Funny you ask. How about that Bill Gates vaccine? Now, sorry I'll pass, cause I'm a gun-toting patriot. God-fearing patriot. Pricing why they mad, cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gun-toting patriot, God-fearing patriot. Pricing why they mad, cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it.
My name is Josiah Bartlett, physician by calling, patriot by choice. I began practicing medicine at 21, armed with little more than a pocket full of bark, a few tools, and the fierce determination to do right by my neighbors. When fever swept through my town, I did the unthinkable. I gave my patients cool cider, not scalding broth. And when diphtheria struck, I used Peruvian bark, quinine. When others bled or starved their patients, medicine taught me to preserve life. One must confront what threatens it, and liberty, like health, withers without vigilance. When the crown taxed without consent, I stood against it, first in our assembly, then in Congress. My house was burned for it. I rebuilt it. Then, when vote came for independence, I made the rafters shake with my I was the first to vote and the second to sign. A nation was born in that chamber, and a doctor's oath, first to do no harm, applies still. Defend this republic, lest it perish from neglect.
Favorite cartoon?
YouTube. I watch YouTube.
No, cartoon.
Cartoon?
Mm-hmm. You don't watch cartoons?
What are cartoons?
Damn, what? I'm not that old.
Is it like when they have ads?
What? You ain't never seen Tom and Jerry? Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. Hey Arnold, you ain't never seen Disney Channel?
East and the west, racking up on my breath. Power on me, I'm feeling just like a Tesla. Too much tree, the smoke is making my chest hurt. Girl on me, I'm thinking I should arrest her. Hey, I'm thinking I should arrest. All night long, she putting me to the test. Got a lot on, I'm trying to take out the rest. Couldn't know my lines, I'm sending them but the best. Hey girl, the cutest that I see. So bad I'm not using my Visine. Gotta get it like Leon and I'm a lysine. So beautiful like in my dreams. Hey boo, I'm hollering at you. Not rude, I'm just trying to be your dude. So what I gotta do is just see how that ass move. So beautiful, sorry to be cruel. Yo B, I'm making the next move. And no me, I'm nothing but just smooth. Low seats, I'm setting the right rule. All these other rappers, they talking, they just fool.
Hello, everybody. Jimmy, did you catch that clip?
I was sitting there like, what the hell?
Yeah.
The kid wasn't, he didn't know what a cartoon was, apparently. So I watch YouTube. So I was like,
that's why
okay.
I played it, because if you heard the kid, he was like, what's a cartoon? You gotta be kidding me. Like, these kids don't even know what cartoons are anymore. That's why I played it.
See, I don't know. I know all my grandkids, they know what cartoons are. So maybe.
Good.
I don't know. That was kind of obscure.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, I thought that was a really cute clip. I mean, it really shows how the next generation, if we don't, if we're not careful, that's exactly how every Gen Alpha kid is gonna start sounding like. They don't even know what TV, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, like they didn't grow up with those things.
Yeah,
And I'm sorry, my kids are still doing DVDs, and if I could do VHS, I'll be doing VHS. You know what I'm saying? Like I keep them 90s, like the way I grew up. I'm a
yeah,
90s kid, so
yeah.
we can't do that to them. This is horrible.
Well, good evening,
Ah,
everybody. Welcome back to the
yeah.
show.
Yes, welcome back. Everybody was here in the chat early. It's been on fire ever since the intro. So that is nice, very nice. A quick hello to everybody who has already been here. I see Dehydrated Nurse, Beverly, JG, Steen, Thrifty, Dallas, Mick. Who else? Joe. I think Joseph is here. I saw Joseph. Yep, there he goes. Rosie. And I have their. I also have your chats on the screen as well. So I mean, it is small, but at least it's something.
Well, I want to say something that has never happened before on this show, and it's
Mhm.
happened tonight.
What?
I didn't print anything off for this week.
Oh no, Jimmy, you're turning into me, coming
I
more and
mean,
more unprepared every Tuesday night.
I mean, look, this is a stack of all the stuff that I printed off in the past year.
Oh
It's all
man.
here. News blast, articles, different stuff. There's tons of shit here. Um, but yeah,
Oh.
I didn't print anything off tonight, just because there's just so much going on. I'm kind of waiting to see how some things pop off.
Yeah.
And also, I had a guest scheduled to come on tonight. And so that's one reason why I didn't print anything off, because I thought, after she shares what she has to share, that would
Mhm.
open up the conversation tremendously. She may still pop on if you see Laurel Gonis in
Mhm.
the chat.
Mhm.
But she's in some stuff that is above my head. All right.
Wow, a step up from you. That's nice.
Yeah. I told Carissa tonight, I was like, I want to know what Laurel's involved in, because she got called in. She got called in on a meeting tonight. I can't say what it was
Mhm. Mhm.
about, but
Mhm.
she got called into a meeting tonight, and she's like, Jimmy, this is the first time that they've done this.
Mhm.
So, I'm looking forward to having her as a guest for you guys to listen to her. So,
Yeah, it'll build up like the anticipation to see her, see what she has to say. And if
yeah,
anybody remembers her, because I know this audience also is your audience, like they remember you from what your projects in the past, and you've had her on
yeah,
before.
yeah.
So
She was
at
my.
least,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
well, I mean, like at least they know her. I don't know her. I mean, I don't remember watching those shows. That was before me, kinda. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that would be cool.
Yeah, she was my co-host on the Big Picture episodes.
Hmm.
She's very, very intelligent, has a lot of connections, knows a lot of stuff, and I can't wait for her to be able to open up and talk about some of the stuff that she can talk about. That's kind of where
Hmm.
she's at right now. There's some things she can't talk about publicly, but there are some things that she can, allude to. So
Hmm.
I think the audience will enjoy that once we get her on here.
Nice. Well, I'm excited. If not tonight, then next Tuesday or any other Tuesday. I don't care.
Yeah,
Like as long as it's however long it takes, I don't care. The stage is always
yeah.
open to anybody. So, thank you for inviting her at least. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I try to find us a guest every now and again.
Yeah.
I try to use some of my connections to get some folks to come on and help educate and entertain the audience. Oh, speaking of audience and entertaining
Mhm.
folks, Bo Benson is being attacked again, and it looks like they're getting ready to take down his YouTube channel.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like a
So
strike?
no, like completely taking it down.
Well, you have to have at least 3 strikes before they do anything.
Well, I'm sure I'm sure he has some strikes, but yeah, he put a video out today, like a 5-minute video, saying that they were going to probably be taking him down. So yeah,
Oh, dang.
yeah,
That's messed up. Well, I
gotta
mean,
love
it's
censorship.
interesting at the same time. Like, I'm curious. I'm gonna have to watch that video.
Well, speaking of YouTube, downing everybody and censoring folks, it was reported last night that YouTube has lost the lawsuit against President Trump, and they owe him $24.5 million for taking down his account after J6.
Oh, I didn't even know YouTube did that. I
Yeah,
mean, I knew Twitter took his page off. That was insane.
yeah.
But I did
So,
not know about that.
so this is sitting at about $100 million that Trump has won in court cases because of these people attacking free speech.
Right, I know it's so stupid. But they do it on purpose though. Like I've caught on like with the judges stuff that you were bringing up. Remember back then I would be like, whatever. I didn't really understand it. And then now I'm like, oh my God, they're corrupt judges.
Yeah, there's
And
another
you've been
judge being
saying it.
yeah. Well, the I think it was the defense attorney that was assigned to no. Hold on. Let me get my story straight. Which one was it? Oh, the James Comey indictment.
Okay, yep.
Okay, so with that indictment, a Biden appointed judge is overseeing that case.
Okay. Okay.
So I have already told everybody, this thing with Comey, this is huge, and we might have to do a show for me to explain the whole Russian collusion thing because it goes deep. There's a lot of people involved. Clapper, Brennan, Strzok, Page, Comey, Obama, Hillary, Danchenko. There's a lot of people involved in this whole Russian collusion thing. And so
Mhm.
Jim Comey, he's the first one. I think the next one might be John Brennan, but we'll see. But they got him right now on 2 lesser charges. And I told people on my Facebook page, hey, do not be surprised if he gets acquitted of these 2 lesser charges,
Mhm.
but then they go after him for treason. So
Okay.
we'll just have to see how that all plays out.
I guess we will. I mean, we ain't going anywhere. So,
No,
how long have we been saying like we're waiting for something to happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be here basically. I'm gonna be
well,
watching. My eyes
we
are
had that
open.
that indictment, and then over the weekend we had a top financier by the name Howard Rubin, who was arrested along with either it was his companion or his business partner. I can't remember. The article's on my Facebook page, where he was caught trafficking kids and using sex dungeons and stuff
What?
like that. Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah. Type in Howard Rubin, Rubin. And me and John were talking about it earlier today. And that I went and looked up his name. Come to find out, he is Jewish. So I told there's another connection to Israel. But I asked John, I said to John in speculation, I wonder if he has dual citizenship. So I don't
Right.
know if he does or not. But if you're involved in child trafficking and abuse and all that, and you have connections to Israel, then you probably do have a dual citizenship so you can run there. So that's all speculation, folks. But, take it for what it's worth.
Well, I found an article. Daily News personal assistant for dungeon financer Howard Rubin, her husband, both hit with tax fraud charges.
Why does that
Hmm.
look like a dude?
What do you mean?
Is that supposed to be a female? Who is
Uh-oh.
that?
Something popped up and I can't get out.
Oh, that's that. Yeah, where you got to subscribe to it to read the article.
I hate when they do that.
I do too.
Okay, well, this is what popped up. Is this not the person? Oh, I'm not even sharing. Is this not the person you're talking
See,
about?
I don't even know what the person looks like. Is that supposed to be Howard Rubin? I thought he'd look older than that.
I mean, that's the picture that they're posting.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, then I guess I thought it was his companion or whatever.
Okay, and now this doesn't want to load. Let's see. Okay.
But anyway, while me and John were talking about it, okay, is that him? Is that supposed to be him?
Yup.
Okay.
Yup.
Okay. All right. That's a creepy
Wow, that's
looking dude.
crazy. Oh my. Yeah. What the heck?
But
Okay, well, go
But
ahead.
John said, he said, Jimmy, I don't even know who that is. That's not a big name or anything. And I told John, I said, I think it's more about the action and what they're being arrested for versus
Mhm.
how big their name is. That's what is being exposed to people. And, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, we want to see the Epstein list. In time, guys, that's going to happen. But along the
Mhm.
way, they are still rounding up child sex trafficking rings, and
Right.
low level
Mhm.
operatives are being arrested.
Mhm.
So would you rather see a list that you don't know for sure is going to be tainted or not? We've talked about
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Or would you rather see them continue to bust all these sex trafficking rings?
I would say both, but I understand what you're saying. It's because we just want transparency. That's all that it really is. Of course, we want them to get caught, but at the same time, they pumped it up to be something that it's not, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like they've talked about it way too much, and then for
Mm.
nothing to happen. And then they put a front. That's what gets me even more upset is that they make a front with the phase 1 binders and everything, and it was just fake for me. It's fake.
Yeah, well, remember what I've said before about us being in an information war. And
Exactly. That's what
and
this. That's when I
disinformation is going to
realized.
be necessary.
Hmm.
I know people want it's funny. It's funny because as much as people want transparency,
Hmm.
there have been things that have come out since our show has started
Hmm.
that prove that what we were saying was correct. And there it is, transparent. And people still don't want to accept it. Make that make sense.
Yeah. I guess there's pros and cons to everything.
So,
um, but I do agree with Aussie in the middle here in the chat. They say Trump's ties to Israel will not allow the files to be released. And unfortunately, this is why my support for him has dwindled because I realized how whether or not he says it, he has to play the part because Israel is technically our ally right now, right? So in the world stage, yeah, he has to play nice, but behind closed doors, I hope he isn't. But I don't have enough trust in that. So until something big happens where he goes completely against Israel and everything that we've ever talked about that we had a problem with, that's the day that I'll be more supportive.
yeah, I get why people feel that way, and I completely understand and appreciate that. I feel differently. I'm still with the whole keep your friends closer, but keep your enemies, or keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer.
Right, right.
That's where I'm at on this. And I'm hoping that as time goes by, that is proven to be correct. Now, I will say that one thing that did happen with all the different little distractions and psyops that have been out there in the last 3 weeks. Do you remember when Israel bombed Qatar with
I
the
believe
Hamas?
so. I believe
Okay.
so. Mhm.
So there was a big meeting after that with the Arab leaders and everything. And Trump actually went to Netanyahu and basically told him he better apologize to Qatar.
Mhm.
And Netanyahu did go and apologize to Qatar for doing what they did.
Okay.
So, and there is a peace plan that Trump has presented. It's on the table now for Israel and Gaza. And that's out there. So you guys can go look that up. if I thought we were going to talk about that stuff, I would have printed it off. But there is a peace plan set up, and it doesn't look good for Israel.
I have a clip. I could play it if you want, where he talks
Sure,
about this.
let's see what's in the clip.
All right. And I haven't seen this as well. I don't know anything about it, so I'm watching it live with you guys and learning at the same time with you guys.
To ensure the success of this effort, my plan calls for the creation of a new international oversight body, the Board of Peace, we call it, the Board of Peace, sort of a beautiful name, the Board of Peace, which will be headed, not at my request, believe me, I'm very busy, but we have to make sure this works. The leaders of the Arab world and Israel and everybody involved asked me to do this, so it would be headed by a gentleman known as President Donald J. Trump of the United States. That's what I want, is some extra work to do, but it's so important that I'm willing to do it, and we'll do it right, and we're going to put leaders from other countries on, and leaders that are very distinguished leaders, and we'll have a board, and one of the people that wants to be on the board is the UK former Prime Minister, Tony Blair, good man, very good man, and some others, and they'll be named over the next few days. And it'll be quite the board. Working, everybody wants to be on it now. I don't know if that had anything to do. They named me and everybody else wanted to be on it. I guess they figure, well, he's a soft touch. He'll be easy to deal with. Working with the World Bank and others, it will be responsible for recruiting and training a new government that will be made up of Palestinians along with highly qualified experts from all around the world. Hamas and other terrorist factions will play no role in the board, but they'll play no role in the governance of Gaza at all, directly or indirectly, as you know.
Okay, no, that's a teaser, I guess, because it goes there's more indeed. You know what? The only thing that I could keep hearing during that, because whenever he talks, I look for comms. I look for different messages. How many times did he say bored? He said it a
Yeah.
lot. He said it a
Yeah.
lot. And the only thing that's
But I
in
mean, he
my
does
head,
talk like that, though. He talks like that,
I
though.
know,
That's
but in the past, whenever he said something like that, it's like what he said today at the military thing. But there's usually a meaning behind some of the things that he says. So the only thing I could think of was chessboard. He said people want to be on the board. That's just what I took from it.
okay. Well, I mean, that makes. I mean, I listen to that and I kind of see maybe not Trump is taking charge, because he literally just said that it wasn't him who started this, but because he's so very busy. So it's like I can't tell where he's at. You know what I'm saying? Like I wish I could tell, but right now maybe it's me, or I don't know if it's him, but it's like he's not saying it. He's not explicit with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what
Yeah.
bothers.
Yeah, I get it. See, that's why when he says stuff, I just sit back and I'm like, I know what you're doing there, Trump.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I had an announcement last Tuesday and I forgot to kind of say it because I've been thinking about this for a really long time, and I think that I'm actually going to go through with it, and I want to give this quick announcement. And it might shock you. I don't know. There's going to be a live reaction. Let me know how you guys feel in the chat. But I am thinking of seriously deregistering to vote until there is an election or a person or a movement that I can really re-register and be 100% behind it, because right now I'm not feeling it. I am not feeling it at all. And I know in season 1 I was very I was really bold with it. Like, if you're not American or if you're not even registered to vote, I'm not going to even argue or talk politics with you because it's useless, right? Like I used to say stuff like that, right? But I've been thinking really hard. And I got a phone call for like a poll thingy about who I'm going to vote for in this next season. I think they're running for governor, I think, I'm not sure. but he gave me two names, right? And they're asking me questions, and I'm like, look, I have to do my research. I don't know how I'm gonna answer you, but I'll do the I'll do the best I can. And as he's asking me these questions and telling me, oh, would you vote for him if you knew that he was involved in yada yada yada? And I was like, no, obviously no. And then I was thinking, why is it always one or two? Player one, player two. You could never come out of that box. I don't even care about the party,
Right.
because whichever party puts their person, that's who they're gonna put. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing you can do about it. So even within the party, you're restricted. So I've been thinking for a very long time. I think I might just deregister because it's not in my heart anymore. Like I'm not feeling it.
All right. So my live reaction to that would be this. I can understand why you feel that way, because there's a lot of people that are, they're waking up or woke up, last couple of years, and they're starting to see the corruption in the systems.
Right.
They're recognizing, oh my God, it doesn't matter who I vote for, because if I vote for the Dem, they're going to screw things up. If I vote for the R, they're going to screw, and they're not going to uphold my values.
Right.
I get that. Okay.
Okay.
I also know that for so many years, the deep state, we'll just say that, has been trying to hinder people's voting rights and
Right.
keep them out of the ballot box. And they may not blatantly come out and say, I am going to violate your rights, but by sabotaging the elections and rigging the elections, they're
Hmm.
taking our voice away.
Right. Agreed. Yep.
Okay.
Hmm.
So personally, what I would say to you on that would be is I think you would be self-silencing your voice, and that would be a win for the deep state. What I would recommend
Hmm.
is stay registered and just wait for what's coming up. And then, like I said, if you don't feel comfortable with it, just don't vote. But I think if people started to deregister, I think the deep state will look at that as a win.
You're right. You're right. And you know what? I really like this comment right here. I'm so glad I brought it up because I've been struggling mentally, like internally with it. And I'm so glad because I totally agree with you, Jimmy. And this username, DBacksDogman, wrote, I have kept my voter registration and vote only on local issues. And you know what? I forgot about that.
There you
Like
go.
sometimes you could be so black pilled that you forget about that power, that hidden inner voice. You know what I'm saying? And your mind plays tricks on you, like, "Ah, it's useless. Just don't get involved anymore. There's nothing one person can do." So I've been a little black pilled. I'll be honest, because I even I downloaded the form and everything. I was like, I'm gonna print this, I'm gonna sign it, and I'm gonna send it because I was just like, I'm so sick and tired of this. Um, and I'm not satisfied with the people that they put up. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna vote for. Well, you guys already know. You guys know my
It's
my
been
stances, and it's very hard to find somebody to vote for.
that's one thing that I do like about the show and the evolution of the show is those that have been with us for a very long, from the
Yeah,
beginning, have seen us grow. They've seen you grow a lot. They've seen you change on a few things.
a lot.
Yeah, it's been kind of fun to watch. And then having the audience interact with comments like he made,
Mhm.
and others that we've had, we're all just like we said, we're having a conversation, and we're
Yeah,
all just trying to help everybody.
yeah, because we're human. We're gonna have these feelings every once in a while, and sometimes we forget that, to drink that white pill once in a while. So I think it's just like I'm just not satisfied. You know what I'm saying? Like
See,
it's not giving me, and I'm
when
yeah.
when times like that happen for me, because okay,
Mhm.
they do happen for me. Y'all might not think it does, but at times it does. It
Mhm.
doesn't last very long. um then usually I go to some of my sources that I've been following for all these years, that maybe I've missed the last 3 weeks of their episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go watch their episode and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. That's what's going on. Okay. And then I'm like, okay, I'm re-engaged
Yes, that's what I'm
to,
feeling.
to keep fighting. So,
Yeah.
but
Okay, I'm glad.
with all the craziness going on right now, I'm fine. I'm okay.
Yeah. Aw. JW Neverland comments, you guys have grown a lot, especially Ruby. I appreciate both of y'all. No, it's true. It goes with my emotions too, or what you're going through in life. It's like a roller coaster. And that if I'm angry or pissed off one day and I see something or read something, I'm full blown extremist. Like I'm radical. And then when I'm okay and happy and easy, I'm like, all right, I can change my mind. It's
After
like
you call me up and start, Jimmy, what the heck is going on?
exactly. It's like a political bipolarness that sometimes happens with me
Yeah.
because the passions can really fly. Like I told you about the Charlie Kirk stuff. I
Mhm.
was like, I wanted to avenge. Like I was thirsty for blood. And you cannot allow yourself to swing like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I can't tell you how many times I have tried to remind folks that with everything going on, I know it's difficult to do at the moment, but you have to keep your emotions in check.
For real. And I'm learning that. I am
You
really
have
learning
to,
that.
because you got to think, what does the deep state play on? They
Yeah.
play on fear. And what is fear? An emotion. They play
And
on our emotions.
right, and it translates to energy, and they're sucking our energy out too.
Correct. That's
Yeah.
why when stuff pops off big time, and my initial reaction is like, oh, holy crap, what's going on now? With the whole Charlie Kirk thing. I'm like, oh, this
Yup.
ain't good. But I didn't freak out about it
Mhm.
because I knew eventually we'd find more information out. But yeah, keeping your emotions in check is very, very important to do. And I'm going to
Right.
tell you, you better learn how to do that now.
Yeah.
I'm just warning you or everybody, because there's some stuff that's getting ready to pop off that you're going to need to keep your emotions in check and
Right.
do
Right.
not live in fear, because right now they're building up this whole alien thing. So with the whole 3-Eye Atlas ship that's supposed to be a comet, but it's not, that's a whole nother show to talk about that. So, but let's just say they're building that narrative up right now, and the World War III narrative is being built as well. So
Yeah. I mean, they're hinting at it. I think there was also like a big meeting or generals of some sort. Like I don't even know what's going on because I haven't been on the internet. But things are moving behind the scenes.
didn't
So
I send what was that clip I sent you on our messenger that said I wanted to play this? It has something to do with World War III. I said,
yes,
yeah, let's go ahead and play that.
you said I want to play this at some point. I need to warn people to not fall for the World
Yeah,
War III psyop. Okay, so
yeah.
let's watch it.
Don't believe me? Stay and see. We are quite literally living a repeat of WW2. What you saw behind me was General Patton's speech to the Third Army right before D-Day. What are the odds, y'all? And it gets a lot crazier. In just a few seconds, I'm going to show you some remarks from Pete and also from the president. But right before I do, I need to show you what's going on. So when I show you their remarks, it'll make sense. So the president just talked about how he sent 2 submarines over there by Russia, right? At the same time, Hamas has 48 hours left to accept the deal, or basically, with his backing, be obliterated by that other place in the Middle East. My friends, that's not all. He's also talking about a land invasion into Venezuela. Who in the world knows why? Well, we know why. He told us it's because the cartels. Speaking of, just a few hours ago, Yemen came out saying that they're going to start targeting our oil in the Middle East. You saw what I showed you, right? Putin already said he's done playing games with NATO, and also we're sending all these aircraft over to the Middle East again while this is happening. Pause it. What's going on? And guess what? The last time this happened a few months ago, Iran was attacked. It's Iran. Shut up. And then the meeting with the 800 top military leaders in the US meet in a fashion just like his speech right before D-Day. I mean, look at the background. What? It could not be more obvious. And this right here is just bizarre. It's like we're living a literal repeat. I just did a whole bunch of digging to see if these guys were related, and they're not. Maybe not by flesh, at least. This whole thing is very weird. And now, since you're up to speed, let me show you these remarks.
Truth. To ensure peace, we must prepare for war. From this moment forward, the only mission of the newly restored Department of War is this: warfighting.
And I leave you with this. What does it sound like he's insinuating?
Your secretary. And I will continue to pray this prayer for each of you as you command and lead our nation's finest. Go forth and do good things, hard things. President Trump has your back, and so do I. And you'll hear from him shortly.
Reaction?
Almost pissed off. Like, I mean, I understand what he's saying, right? That makes sense. But you mean to tell me, once again, we could barely afford the living wage. We could barely afford food, groceries for a family of 4 or 5. We could barely afford gas. We could barely afford the little things in life. And y'all people talking about war? That's what gets me upset. And this is why my ideology is isolationism, or whatever you want to call it, because we should be using money, resources, all of that to fix the crisis within our borders. And once again, we're looking at the other side of the world. Now, I get it. I get that there's threats and everything like that. But we should be taking care of ourselves.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
that.
like I've said in response to that is, you're dealing with the global economy, you're dealing with, different trade deals and everything, because something that our country doesn't have, another country does, and we need that for our benefit. So, there's got to be some trading going on. That's where we are a global community. I get what you're saying, but we could be a hybrid of that. We could stay out of other people's business, just focus on the United States and let other countries focus on themselves. But when something comes up that needs our attention, as far as a trade deal or whatever, okay, that needs to be addressed. It could be a hybrid instead of just being one or the other.
And you know what? I wish I could believe that if there wasn't so much corruption with the whole 9/11 stuff and the reasons why we've gone to
Oh, yeah.
war in the past. Like, I wish
Yeah.
I could believe that.
Yeah.
But in my reality, in the 29 years that I've been living, there was never there was a good fake reason to go to war, but there was never a good real reason, finding out the real reasons why they went to war and killed millions of people. It was all a lie. It was all
Yeah,
staged. It was all a lie, and real people died. That's my issue. That's why I'm anti-war.
Yeah, every one of the wars, that was the situation. And we got to remember, if we go back to the 16-year plan to destroy America, in the 8 years that Hillary's supposed to be, there was going to be World War III, real or orchestrated. So
That's what I mean.
that
Yep.
was their plan to do that. And it was actually supposed to start off with North Korea. Because if you remember back in 2015, 2016, the threat from North Korea was being built up in the media. And everybody thought that there was going to be some random ballistic missile come out of North Korea. And that was going to start off this whole real war orchestrated. It would look, unfortunately, with the deep state involved, people would have died, no doubt about it. They would have been able to control it because that's what the deep state does. They want war. They want chaos. They want riots. They want people. That's their MO. They know how to control that, manipulate it, and use it to their advantage. But if we had gone through this, then we know that the deep state playbook, the 16-year plan, has failed because we are past those 16 years now.
Mm-hmm.
This was all supposed to be wrapped up in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in a different era right now, and we're in the era where their plan is being used against them. So when it comes to this whole World War III narrative, one thing that I've said before, and I know I say that a lot, but sometimes you just can't tell the people the truth. You got to show them the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So you may see it build up. It may look scary. It may look like we're going to war. The whole build up for it. But that's just going to wake more people up, because maybe COVID didn't wake them up. Maybe censorship didn't wake them up. Maybe Charlie Kirk getting shot didn't wake them up. But war, that should wake up a lot more people. So I honestly do not think, one, there's not going to be a civil war in America. And two, there's not going to be a real World War III. It's going to look scary. They're going to build it up. They're going to push, the media is going to push it. But again, keep the emotions in check.
But you see, that's the thing, is that they need majority approval from we the people to even start something like that. That's why 9/11 was so shocking, was because of the Twin Towers. If that would have never happened, the American people would have never been on board with what happened. So they needed a catastrophic event to happen so people could be on board.
And not only,
Mhm.
sorry, Ruby, not only that, to give them a reason to go to war for their own benefit, but also in a way to strip away citizens' rights.
Oh yeah. They tuck that in. They tuck it in.
Yeah. So that it accomplishes these big old false flags, these major psyops. They're all designed to try to benefit the deep state
and to trick us, because if we weren't brainwashed, then we would be against it from the get-go, and it would never fly. It would never fly. Like, we should have been anti-Israel from day one. That should have been something everybody could agree on, and unfortunately, that's not. Like, you could tell there's a division in American politics when you talk about that.
Well, I will have to say that over the last 3 weeks, I've talked a lot about the whole Israel thing. And when I've talked about it before, and I got a lot of blowback from a lot of hardcore Christians. The last 3 weeks, that blowback hasn't been as extreme as it was before. I've had a couple people say something, but I think people are starting to wake up to the difference of biblical Israel and the Israeli Mossad, deep state, Rothschild puppet government that's been running it for the last 60, 70 years.
So yeah, that's my thing. Is like, even now that I know how they work, even if something as dramatic as 9/11, I still would be against it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would still be anti-war. Like, I would stand my ground and be like, no, I don't care what you guys do. It'll never happen. It'll never go through. At least not with our approval.
I think the people worldwide, nobody wants war. It benefits it benefits nobody but the deep state players.
Exactly.
And I think the world is waking up. They've been waking up, and nobody in Italy wants to send their son or daughter to war. Nobody in any country wants to, a good, honest person doesn't want to see that. In America, we don't want it. We don't want to see it.
Absolutely not.
We don't want to see it.
Absolutely not.
And that's one thing that Trump said in his UN speech, that he's responsible, his administration is responsible for stopping 7 different wars. And I wish I would have gone and looked them all up so I could have it for proof. But he said it in his UN speech. which that was
Okay.
pretty cool.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
if anybody in the chat knows, let us know in the chat. But I'm putting that down as homework because next
yeah.
Tuesday we
Let
can
me.
dive into
Yeah,
the seven wars.
because when I saw that, I was like, I need to follow a list of 7 wars Trump stopped.
Yep.
Oh, all right, cool. All right.
Shouldn't he get the Peace Prize?
Yeah, technically, yeah. Technically, if the Nobel Peace Prize Committee and that whole organization wasn't corrupt, I mean, how are you gonna give a peace prize to Obama when he was in the office for like 2 days? I'm I'm being what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Damn, I'm joking. It wasn't 2 days. God, I can't even think of the word I was on.
um Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Because we already know that they're corrupt. So what does it matter? Why don't you give him one too? It's fake anyway. And at the end of the day, everything's all fake. Why don't you give him a medal?
Well, with everything going on, I that's the least of my worry. I don't even worry about the Nobel Peace Prize place because there's a lot of crap because that dude laid it out. Stuff popping off in Yemen, stuff in Iran, Gaza, Israel, Ukraine and Russia still, China and Taiwan. That's a whole nother story there. So there's a lot going on around the world, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see it all happening because
Okay.
it leads to a lot of the other stuff that I've talked about.
Okay. Well, if anything does pop off like that, I would be the number one voice against it. I would be anti whatever. Anti whatever happens next, I'm against it because I'm so done. I am so done. And I think I will just stick to the local elections. I think that's where it matters anyways.
Yeah,
So, I think that's what I'm going to do. And
and,
the
and that,
point, uh-huh, what?
I was getting ready to say to that. That's the point that every American needs to understand. Everybody's always focused on the president, the vice president, the senator, or the congressman.
Mhm.
The only way to change our communities
Mhm.
is first off, start at the local level.
Right. Work your way up. Yeah, I believe in that. Mhm.
It would be easier to for a community to
Mhm.
get rid of a corrupt mayor than it would
Right.
be for them to get rid of a corrupt senator.
Good point. I mean, that's exactly what we should be doing. I mean, yeah, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start looking up the city town halls and those little things in downtown. They're usually all those buildings in the courts in downtown and start
Because
attending those.
with that situation, then you can have a voice, you can do something. You can
Right.
go to those city town hall debates. You can go to
Mm-hmm.
the commissioner meetings and things like that where they have
Mm-hmm.
the public speak. And
Right.
so if these cities and these communities are getting blowback from the people saying, "Hey, we don't like what you're doing and we're going to call you out on it," then that person's gone.
Right.
And the
And
community can put somebody in there that's good and keep
right.
holding them accountable. And then that person, whoever it is, has to talk to their higher ups and be like, "Listen, dude, my community ain't going to go for this." You know,
Exactly.
so it's
Exactly.
got to work its way from the bottom to the top.
Exactly. Oof. Imagine me in one of those places. Imagine
I'd
me
love to
talking
see
to
it.
those people.
I
And then
think
you'll
I,
see me on
I think we
YouTube.
need, I think we need to do a live when you do it.
And then you'll see me you'll see like a clip of me and they'll be like, Florida mom joins town hall and goes, extremist. The title will be insane. And then you'll see me on YouTube. You'll be like, yo, is that Ruby? Oh my God. Because I will light them up. I would light them up.
Well,
Um,
I did make the local news when I was out speaking out against the Board of Education.
I think I remember stuff like
Yeah,
that. You told.
a couple years ago, I spoke out
Yeah.
and they had me on the local news. That was kind of cool.
Oh
But
man.
but then after that, my grandkids decided, well, my
Mhm. Mhm.
stepdaughter, they decided to homeschool.
Yep.
So I haven't gone to any of the meetings or anything because
Right.
hey, mine are being homeschooled.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. But I mean, that should, and I thought I was thinking about that, like, oh, I don't really have a dog in the fight anymore, but I would still do it as a community mother. Like, we are in these groups, still attend, still talk about it, because the public schools are not gonna change. That's those are like prison camps basically. They're training your kid how to be in a prison mentality. They're not teaching
oh
them how to survive in the outside.
no,
No.
well, and we all know that that's exactly what the Rothschild and Rockefeller. That's what they did back in the day. They just wanted people smart enough to be able to work a
Right.
factory line. You know,
Right. Debbie said the news will say, and Ruby went to jail. Yo, can you imagine if they dragged me out? Oh my God. You see, this is why I need to be in training a little bit longer. I'm not ready for it because I will say something
hmm
and forget about it. I will make the news too. Um, oh, Joseph said, let's get the guest on the show. Yeah, it's open. The stage is always open. The link should be in the chat if you guys want to join.
is Laurel here?
Definitely join. I don't see Laurel, but Joseph said, let's get the guests on the show.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you mean the guest? Wait, wait, wait. Does he mean Laurel or does he mean like people, like regular people?
Well, I haven't seen Laurel in the chat.
No, I haven't, but I'm gonna post a link just in case anybody else wants to join. Because quick story. Remember I told you I wanted to give like a quick monologue about, I've
Yeah,
been thinking a lot in in both terms, like politically and just like regular people, like me and you, right?
right.
So I was with a group of friends, and this other friend of mine was talking about like her mom and being undocumented and stuff like that. And that was kind of like the first moment where I was like, I mean, we know the law, right? But it would be so insensitive to say something. You know what I'm saying? Like
hmm
that's somebody's mom, right? And of course, I'm not gonna say something crazy like I say on the show, right? But you guys already know how I feel about the immigration stuff. I don't care if it's legal, illegal, like you know what I'm saying? So I started thinking, I started thinking within myself, and this was a moment. What's that phrase? Like there's a time for everything, a moment to be quiet, a moment to
Yeah,
speak and stuff. So I had to apply that. And that was a moment for me to just stay quiet and just listen. Be
yeah,
sympathetic because I obviously cannot empathize. I don't know what that feels like, right?
right.
But at least I can be sympathetic to somebody else's plight in this country where for a fact this state does not support sanctuary cities or any services or programs for undocumented people, right?
hmm
But obviously she's in a state that does. So the best thing that I came up with when that kind of came up a little bit, like a little bit political, it wasn't personal anymore, but it was a little bit political because of our state. We were like, oh, Florida, don't, because if she comes to this state and she gets caught, you already know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But so I was thinking, yeah, you know what? That's why some states allow sanctuary cities. Like that's when it clicked for me on a human level. And I
Right.
wanted to I wanted to share that because I think a lot of people perceive me as maybe that I don't do that, right? Like maybe my views will not allow me to humanize or to empathize with a different background or story or whatever when it comes to politics because I'm so like hardcore and bold and like, "Ugh,"
Right.
like I'm out there. And it's not that I don't care, right? Because I say that a lot, and I don't want people to get like I don't want them to think like I don't care in the way of like I don't care about people, right? I mean that in terms of the country as a whole, right? That when we come into problems like this, it could be somebody's mother, father, brother, daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like I get that, I understand that, but that's exactly the issue. It's
Yeah,
like it's the problem and the solution at the same time almost. Because it's like if we didn't have the problem to begin with, if we didn't have the border unsecured to begin with, you probably would not be in that situation right now. But because of the negligence, you are now in that position. You are here in this country, or you have a parent who is here but probably can't elevate themselves in life. They cannot be productive in society because they're not a citizen in this country, whatever the case may be, right? So I realized in that moment that I was like, wow, this is the very first time that I had to think about what I'm going to say, because I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to come across as insensitive, but
Mm-hmm.
I also don't want to bend on my principles and values. So that was a moment to respectfully sympathize and just say the fact of the matter, that yeah, it's a problem, yeah, and that's why in California, New York City, Chicago, certain states or cities, they have resources, or maybe they don't, because that's what we're seeing. It's out of proportion, but that's the issue. That's exactly why we are the way we are. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to bring that in as a moment of reflection I had this week.
Well, that's good because at least it shows people that, hey, you're not just this hardcore robot that's, has no feelings or anything like that. And I too, there's been times, people send me messages or have a conversation with me, and I have to actually stop and listen to what they're saying and try to understand where they're coming from at the level of information that they have, or of what experiences they've been dealing with is too. So, especially in comment sections, and I'll usually start off with, "Hey, I can understand how you're feeling, and I will respect that.
Hmm.
However, in my opinion, or me personally, this is how I feel about that." So I'm not
Right.
attacking them. I'm acknowledging what they're saying. Um, but then I'll say, "Hey, I just don't feel that way. I hate that it's happening for you. I get it." And, usually it leads to a productive conversation.
Right. Or at the very least, just validate the experience, because that's all I can do, right? I can just validate that, yeah, there's real people going through it. I get that. You know what I'm saying? So it's
And
just understanding that.
yeah, and what a lot of people don't understand is, again, this is them manipulating our feelings.
Hmm.
Because, like you said, if law and order was being done in the beginning,
Hmm.
then according to the Constitution, we wouldn't have this issue. Now we have this person that's here, and they're afraid, oh, well, maybe we need to set up a sanctuary city and have this person come over here. But then that opens it up to all the other illegals coming in and flooding that sanctuary city. And then it becomes a
Mm.
mess in itself.
Yep.
So they're creating these problems,
Hmm.
and then they're using our sympathy for humans as a weapon to uh, play on
Hmm.
the heartstrings.
Right. Right.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was a moment for me to, like, in real time, quickly assess myself.
That's
Because
good.
it's very easy to say it online. We're online here, we're having fun, sometimes I say things that are crazy, but it's easy to do that online, or to be a keyboard warrior, you know what I'm saying? But in
Right.
real life is very, very different. And it also reminds me of, like, the last time I went to my grandma's house. I couldn't even say Trump's name. Like, that was like Harry Potter forbidden. Like, you don't say that name in this house. You know what I'm saying? But it was weird because my uncle, like I talk to you about him all the time. He was the conspiracy theorist. It was like, how can you not discuss this?
Right.
So that was another moment where I was like, okay, this is a moment to just be quiet. Just don't talk about it here. Talk about it somewhere else. Be respectful of play spaces that it's just they just don't allow it, and that's okay.
When I went to the meeting with my regional manager to discuss, my promotion and everything, I went into that meeting and I told him, I said, look, I said, we're going to have a very frank discussion. I'm going to
Mm.
tell you. I'm going to tell you how I feel about this situation and where I stand, and I want you to do the same. Now, he said something to me like 3 years ago that really pissed me off, and I held on to it all this time. And I had sworn that I would never take a management position underneath him.
Mhm.
But when we went into this meeting, he's like, "Well, what did you want to say to me that was so frank and direct?" I told him exactly how I felt about what he did and what he said. And
Whoa.
yeah, see, I do. I don't hold no words. Well, I'll do it when I need to.
Yes.
But anyway, in this situation, so I laid it all out on the line. I'm like, look, this is why I can't trust you. This is what happened.
Mhm.
And he looked back and he said, Jimmy, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I didn't realize what I said or what I was saying had that effect on you.
Mhm. Mhm.
And he sincerely apologized to me.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I think the point with that would be is sometimes we may say something and not
Mhm.
really know how it affects the other person. And that's where, you have to have a conversation. I was going somewhere else with this too. Oh, yeah, I remember. So after that happened, after he profusely apologized, he says, "All right, Jimmy," he said, "there's just some things that I just can't have you doing." He says, "While you're at work and training new associates, can you not talk politics?" I said, Mr. R,
Mhm.
trust me, during working hours, I'm not going to be talking politics. I mean, because
Yeah, no.
unless I get a new associate that's like, "Hey, Jimmy, did you hear about this?" And I'm gonna be like, "What do you know?
Can you
What do you
imagine Jimmy as your boss and then God
know?"
forbid you say something, he gonna be like,
I'm gonna be like,
like your radar is already on.
What do you know about that?" "Oh, really? Tell me. Can you tell me more?"
Oh yes, I love that.
So,
Wow,
and
that's a
then,
great
and then
experience.
that was before he made the decision to promote me. And then after I got the promotion, he's like, "You're still not going to talk politics, right?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Listen, dude." I was like, "Listen, I talk politics every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock." And I said, if any of my agents or anybody in my hierarchy or whatever decides to come on my YouTube channel and see it, that's on them. Okay. That's on them. I can't control that.
Yeah, but at least every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. you get it out your system. And
Yes.
this is why I created this as well, because I was like, I can't not talk about it, but also talk about it and just get backlash, like as if what I'm saying is utterly
Correct.
crazy. Like no, and okay, that was the other point that I wanted to bring out because a lot of people may come here and think that it is outrageous the things that I'm saying. But that's because you probably never heard it before because people weren't courageous enough to say it. But they're thinking it. And that's
Yeah.
why I think that's what kind of makes us different is because we don't care too much about that perception because I obviously do care. But I don't want that to be in a bad way. It's a good thing because you want to be able to have the safe space to talk about it and not be
Mhm.
afraid. And,
Yeah.
and that's the whole thing with the Charlie stuff. It's like you should be able to say your views without getting shot. Is that too much to ask? And that's what
Correct.
it is. Everybody's too afraid. They don't say nothing. They'll do it in the voting in privacy. They'll vote, and then people are shocked. Oh my God! How could he win? And it's like, all right, stop. That this is why we need to be more outspoken.
Could you imagine how much crap would actually get done if people would just
Mhm.
open their mouth and speak their mind about how they feel about a situation?
Exactly. It would solve
There,
so many problems.
I don't like the phrase silent majority. I,
Okay.
I
Mhm.
don't like that phrase because I'm like, why are you silent?
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
and
I get it. I get it. People don't want to rock the boat or, oh, my job's going to be this or this.
mm-mm,
I mean, you
mm-mm,
can still speak your mind
right.
and be able to keep your job. Okay, you can still
Uh-huh.
you can do that. It can happen.
O-
Um,
Okay, but you see, what happened recently is that when people spoke, they did get fired, and they want to claim cancel culture. And what about the Jimmy Kimmel situation? So this is a great segue
yeah, it's
because
a good segue into this. Go ahead.
yeah, because Jimmy got his show canceled, and then they brought him back. I don't know what the status is now, but a lot of regular people also lost their jobs because of the comments that they made about Charlie. So how
Well,
do you feel about that?
here's the thing: if you're going out there and celebrating the death of someone, I don't want you in my company.
Okay, so it's
Now,
a
if now
company
if
thing.
now if that individual decided, okay, I'm not going to talk about somebody's death or whatever, but I want to talk about immigration or abortion or any of the hot topic issues, you
Hmm.
know, they're not going to get fired for that. These people, these,
Hmm.
oh, go ahead. You're going to say something. You got a thought.
Okay, because that would be considered discrimination, right, for your political views.
I would say so. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
But if
because what
you're
they
going
were.
to,
Hmm.
but if you're going to go out there and make a TikTok celebrating the death of someone, that says a lot about your character. And
Right,
I don't want that character being in my company.
right, and they have the right to fire you.
Exactly. So now with the Jimmy Kimmel thing, um,
Hmm.
I don't think, okay, I'd have to look back and see exactly what the FCC, what their involvement was in that. Um, did he say stuff that was untrue? Yes, he did. But the news does it every freaking day.
Right.
Um, he did not, from what I understand, he didn't celebrate the death of Charlie.
Hmm.
Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he celebrated. But he said some crap. But I don't think we need to be playing the left's game in doing cancel culture. You have free speech,
Right.
so he should be able to say what he wants to say. You know, people can watch him or not watch him and disagree with him or not, but he has the right to say it. Now, I think it goes a little bit deeper because I think ABC wants to get rid of him anyway, as his
Right.
show is
That.
losing millions of dollars.
Hmm.
And so now that Nexstar and another affiliate, they're not airing his shows.
Okay.
So there's some markets that are seeing his program. So that's going to cause the revenue to go down, which would give ABC an out to say, hey, you're losing a lot of money. We're taking you down anyway.
Right. Right.
Because maybe ABC doesn't have the balls enough to get rid of a guy that's, you know, I don't know, saying
Hmm.
he has said some stupid stuff, especially during the vaccination and COVID time. He said some really, really mean stuff back then. So
And yet he didn't get fired for that. So I get it. I get it that we shouldn't be doing, double standard stuff because that's exactly what the left does. But I think it was more about contracts. That's why they gave it back to him. Maybe it was a violation of, wrongful termination or something like
it could
that,
have
and
been
back. Um, that's the vibe I'm getting.
because they didn't come out and fire him. They came out and suspended him. They,
Okay.
so
Mm.
there's a little bit of a difference there, especially in legality stuff. So there could you might be right. It could have been contract stuff. So
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, and that makes sense. I mean, I also don't really care what he said or what he didn't say because he's a nobody to me. You know what I'm saying? Like in the grand scheme of things, this is just a figure that distracts. It's a distraction for me.
he's a jester. He's a clown in the movie.
Yeah, and not a very good one at that either,
No,
So it's like who? That's how I feel about TV nowadays. It's like I don't know who that is. Sorry, I don't know what you're watching. There's real problems and a real life to live than to be watching
speaking
just like
of
people on TV.
speaking of who the hell is that? Did
Mhm.
you hear who they announced it's going to be playing the halftime Super Bowl show?
Yo, okay. You want to talk about it?
Let's talk
Listen,
about it.
this really pisses me off, man. Like, there's so many things. When I see the headline, I turn my phone off. I'm like, I'm done. I okay, so let's talk about it. So Bad
Okay.
Bunny, right? From the very beginning, they put this man into culture, American slash Spanish, Puerto Rican pride. I get it. But that's when I started hating him at the day one. I said, I don't like this guy. I don't know what it is. I don't like him. And that was my gut, like that was my instincts of something's wrong with this figure. Another, another distraction, but there's something deeper that's wrong with this man. So not only did they just insert this nobody into culture, especially in the reggaeton, for me personally, as a Puerto Rican with music and all that, you do not mess with the classics. You do not mess with like uh it's like Spanish rappers, reggaeton, and what Bad Bunny is almost like a new rapper, basically, right?
Mhm, mhm,
You don't just mess with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're good, but not that good. You know what I'm saying? Like, they hyped him up like a Spanish Beyonce. And that
mhm,
pissed me off because I was like, no, 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 sit down. You just came yesterday. There's OGs. You know what I'm saying? In the library of music. You don't mess with Beyonce's and Mariah Carey's of the Spanish world and music. So that was strike one. Then strike two, the lyrics, the music, what it's about. It's the same thing with hip hop and the black community. They're doing it in the Spanish community, and it's even more degenerate and disgusting and vulgar and just exploitation of women, basically.
I was getting ready to ask you, what is he saying in his songs? Because all his songs are in
Hmm.
Spanish.
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican, he's Spanish.
So
He
what's he
Yeah,
saying?
90% of it is about sex, about clubbing, dancing, and then he inserts Spanish culture into that, as if those two things mix, and that's what disgusts me. And you
Okay.
guys already know, like, I'm Christian conservative, so I would not listen. I kind of stopped listening to reggaeton just because of the whole genre is like that. But I mean, come on, how much more degenerate can you get? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just gets worse and worse and worse, and I don't call that music. I don't call that music when you're talking about degenerate things in your music, especially your music videos. Horrible. Horrible. It's disgusting to me personally. So
Yeah.
I don't listen to the music anymore. I don't support it at all. And then the day came when I finally realized why I don't, I like, I knew he was a red flag. Was in one of his, and I told you this in season one, in one of his concerts, he had nail polish, he kissed a male dancer. And then in one of the other music videos, he was wearing like a skirt. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, hell no. This is exactly, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. And that was the day that I wrapped it up. I was like, I'm done. I don't care anymore. And I will preach it from the rooftops that characters like him is what destroys communities. Just like they did with the black community, they're doing it now with the Spanish community. I mean, it's always
Yep.
been a thing, but it's worse now because it's on display as if it's okay. Absolutely not. So that's when I knew I'm done.
Yeah. So you did see the pictures of him in skirts and
Mm-hmm.
dresses and all
Yep.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And you made the mention that, it's like, sit down. You just got here 2 days ago, right? So he just kind of, he just kind of blew up, right?
Blew up.
And we know that that's what they do to these people
Mhm.
to prop them up to get their, get push their agendas and things like that. I mean, how many times have we listened to somebody and we're like, damn, this person just came on the scene and just is cranking out hit after hit after hit. That's not normal.
Right.
It's
Right.
fabricated.
And
And
who controls
so,
the music industry?
yeah, exactly. And so when I heard that he was being announced as the Super Bowl halftime show, I was like, who is that? Who is Bad Bunny? I didn't even know who it was. But then, but then I went and saw some pictures and photo shoots, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
he's bad. Now, this is the other thing that, on the NFL side. Yeah, I watched the Cowboy game at the beginning of the year, and I did catch a little bit of the Cowboy Packer game, which that was actually really cool, but it ended in a tie. I know it's all scripted. I actually told my wife, I was like, hey, it's late. I don't have anything going on right now. I'm going to go out and watch some mindless entertainment. That's what I told her I was going to do. So, but up until these last two incidents, I hadn't watched an NFL game in years because I know that they had gone woke.
Yeah.
And they were pushing woke agendas, and it all started with Colin Kaepernick and him bending the knee.
Oh yeah.
Kneeling. So that's when it started for me. And to have the NFL, who, football fans, do you really think that American citizens are going to like this Bad Bunny dude? I mean, is that
That's
going
true.
to
That's true.
is that going
Yeah.
to unite football? But see, I think the NFL is trying to look at this as a financial thing for them because they're trying to expand to an international audience. They've had games overseas this year, like a record 7 games overseas. So they're trying to expand the NFL, and this is a way for them to try to pander to the Spanish community. So I don't like that. And then there was this. Bad Bunny will not do shows in the United States. And you know why?
Yes. And I think
Because,
he said so himself. He said
yeah,
this himself.
he said this himself. Because he's afraid of ICE and immigration showing up at his venues to come get his fans. But he will accept to come to the biggest halftime show
Yes.
of the year.
Unpaid.
There you go. He got paid. There you go.
I'm
He's
telling
getting,
you, it's so stupid. It's so stupid to me.
yeah, he's
It's
getting paid.
it once again, and that's fake outrage. It's fake outrage to put an excuse that you're not going to tour in America because of that. That's stupid. Number one, majority of your fans are Puerto Ricans. We're Americans. Like, stop it already. Um, and like you said, all of his music is in Spanish. So if you're not a real hardcore reggaeton fan or Spanish speaking person, you would have no business going to a Bad Bunny concert. So please save yourself. Like, you are
You're,
not that important.
you're going to have 50 to 60 million people watching the Super Bowl. And when halftime comes on, they're going to be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
It's exactly what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
So
Mm-mm.
it's ridiculous. What's the chat saying about this?
Let's see. And the chat has been on fire. Everybody is here and engaged. I love that. Oh, Dehydrated Nurse says, I only like the commercials. Oh, WDH is in the chat too. Haven't seen him in a while. Beverly says, we're not watching the Super Bowl halftime. Oh man. And those used to be the most exciting parts.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I know Michael Jackson did it.
That was amazing. Prince.
Beyonce did it. Oh yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like real artists, like real music where they're not cursing every other word and talking about explicit things. That's not
You,
music to me.
you do know who's responsible for plugging these artists into these shows, don't you?
Nah, who?
The head of Rock Nation. Do you know who that is?
Oh, okay. Oh,
Do you know who it is? I'm going to throw a name out.
Uh-huh. What's the name?
Jay-Z.
Oh, is he the head of it though? Like he owns it?
He's the one that puts these shows together. He's the one that
Okay.
books these artists. Jay-Z.
Okay.
So, and we know about Jay-Z and how evil and corrupt he is, and we know who he's married to.
Right,
And
right.
we know the people that they run around with, Marina Abramovich.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it gets deep. It gets really deep.
Okay, thank you for mentioning that. You see what I'm saying? Those like little nuggets that it
And
connects everything now.
the Super Bowl is one of the most prolific events for human trafficking.
Mm,
And so you got
that's
Jay-Z
bad.
involved, you got, they hang out with Marina Abramovich and, the other little people, the other little players that they have. Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
corrupt and evil.
it's sick. You know what, Jimmy? I took a screenshot of an Instagram post, and is actually maybe I should fact check this. So before I show it to the everybody, I'll show it next Tuesday, and then we'll put a pin in this. And just to kind of like give you an idea, it's a poster of a World War II, and it speaks exactly to the connection between the the Jewish element, the Hollywood element,
Hmm.
communism element,
Hmm.
and then the World War II, obviously, because that's when it was printed. It kind of connects all of that in a hamburger. I mean, it's a big thing. So I screenshotted it. I've never seen something like that, right? So I'm gonna send it to you, and
Okay.
then do a little research if you can. Maybe see if it's actually real. I don't want to be showing stuff and it's not even real. But it describes literally everything that we've ever talked about,
Hmm.
all the rabbit holes we've ever gone down,
Hmm.
and it's almost like lost knowledge. Like they knew that. They were printing literature about it. And obviously they called it anti Semitic, but no, it was the truth back then. And they connected those dots already. But what happened? Those people all died because of World War II. So, in my opinion, that knowledge died with them. And that's why we look like confused ants. And then when we make the dots, they bring up the same thing. Oh, you're being anti-Semitic. Oh, you're being this. You're being that. But then when you look at the literature back then, and you say these connections with the whole entertainment business,
Yep.
it's the exact same thing, just different words.
Um, yeah, I mean, look what they did in the Weimar Republic in Germany in the 1920s. You look at what the people were being shown and subjected to back then.
Right.
And the book burnings that happened in the 1930s after a certain
Mm-hmm.
guy with a mustache
Mm-hmm.
became the leader,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't it was pornography books. It was stuff
Yes.
talking. That's what was being burnt.
Right. The research, the transgenderism research and the change sex
All that,
changes and
yeah,
all that.
all that stuff. And that is 100% truth. You can go look it up. So,
Exactly. And there
but
was a transgender person who actually said that in the news. I mean,
yeah,
he was at a news thing. Did I show that clip to you? It's old.
I
But
don't remember. We
but
played a lot of clips.
yeah, okay. So basically, if I ever find it, I'll show it to you again. But basically, he says that that was their oppression for their community, that those books were being burnt because it was the research to what they have today, basically, like the healthcare that they have today. And it's like, so you're proving the point that that's
Yeah.
exactly why they were burning it. Because look at what we're going through right now. They didn't burn enough books
You know
because we
what?
still have it.
We've been kind of controversial on some things in the past. Maybe we should do a show one night.
I don't.
You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, but we got to
Um,
be careful
yeah,
that
we'd
we
have to
don't
be
get our
careful.
channel.
But the whole World War II, Weimar Republic, Hitler, and everything else, that
Everything,
would be.
everything.
What do y'all think in the chat? Do you think we would get banned, or would you want to see us do a show like that?
Yeah, like a quick crash course. Like we can give you the trigger word, and then whenever we have that word, we'll put a little, message up there like Google this on your own because we don't want to get a strike. But I need a crash course into World War II because nothing makes sense to me when it comes to World War II.
Well, I will have to say I was pleasantly surprised this week because I actually had somebody send me a message and said, "Jimmy, have you watched Europa: The Last Battle?" And I'm like, Oh, you watched Europe of the Last Battle? Because I did watch that back in 2020 or 2021. I said, "Oh yeah, I've seen that documentary." And this person came back and said, "Jimmy, my views have completely changed about what we were told about that time period." And I'm like,
Okay,
"Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna have to
know."
write that down. What was it called again?
It's called Europa: The Last Battle. Do you have
Okay.
Telegram?
No, I don't.
I might be able to send you the link because I have the link on Telegram.
The
I can
last
probably send you the link and you can see if you can open it or not.
Okay, 2017 film.
Yeah, it's really good. It took me like 4 days to get through it because there's like 10 episodes and they're like 2 or 3 hours
Oh,
long. It's
okay.
really good.
I'm gonna share it on my screen now if anybody is interested in writing it down or something. Right here. World War II revisionist film that claims Jews deliberately caused both world wars and that Hitler was only trying to save Germany from the Jews as part of a plot to found the nation of Israel. Wow, that's interesting.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Whoa.
Let's just say the history that we've been told about World War II, it's all lies.
And you see, I love this because we've separately and independently have gone down these lanes on our own
Hmm.
and we've come to similar conclusions and then we see something like this. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like this was not uh somebody telling me this or teaching me this or
Right.
creating that narrative for me. I found that out on my own relatively, with being on Twitter, being on spaces where it wasn't censored,
Hmm.
that we were able to just separately come to that and be like, something's not right here.
And see, and this
And
is the
we've
reason.
connected it.
And this is the reason why the deep state uses censorship. This is why they try to keep the people separated because they don't want
Right,
people, like with our former religion, you know,
right, right,
don't
right,
do any independent research. Just stay in this section right
right,
here because they
right.
they don't want people doing the research. And what's happened is because over the last especially the last 5 years, people have been doing their research. So
Right.
that's why they're cranking up their propaganda machine and putting articles out on Google or this or that, trying to debunk, what people are finding out to be the truth.
Okay,
And
so you
so,
know what? Oh, sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say just the fact that they don't like conversations like you and I are having, and like millions of other people are having. This
Hmm.
is why the deep state knows they've lost the information war.
Hmm.
They can't win this. We told you back 4 years ago, they're not going to win the information war. And because of that, that's why they've taken things to a physical level. That's why you're hearing about shootings and stuff like that, because they're trying to make this go physical. And it's
Right.
going to fail because Trump and his, that's where the whole National Guard thing, everything's fucking tied together.
Exactly. Yeah, and the
Sorry,
internet is
sorry,
their
y'all.
downfall.
Sorry,
Oh man, I forgot. I was gonna say something. What was I gonna
sorry.
say? Oh yes, I got it back. So I think the safest way to do this episode, that this topic, is to do it in a reflective review on this documentary. So we should all watch it first and then, gather some articles or whatever you want and build the show to kind of make it seem like commentary, because YouTube would allow that if we're reviewing a documentary. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not making stuff up. We're actually talking about a real documentary, and that
And
would probably be
I
safe.
would say for the audience, um, don't. This will be the first time you hear me say this in a while. Don't go read stuff about what other people are saying about this show. Okay, just watch it and you decide. Don't get tainted like a jury pool. Just if you're going to go watch it, watch it.
Right.
Don't
Right.
go, well, what's this person saying about what's this person saying about it? Because that's going to mess with your brain. You're going to have a
Yeah.
preconceived idea of it when you go in to watch it.
Right.
So if you're going to watch it, just go watch it. Because
Right.
I
Good
did. And I
one.
was like,
That's a good one.
I was hooked on it. I was hooked on it. I was like, holy crap. And this is like when I was first waking up, too. So
Hmm.
I was like, wow. I was like, huh. A certain individual wasn't as bad as they say he was he?
Okay, so I'm gonna put the title in the chat. So I see your comment, JG, and this came out in 2017. So
Huh.
that'll be a fun thing, guys. So watch that, and then we will revisit that as soon as I'm done, watching it, of course.
If you can't find it, I think you can find it on Rumble. Um, I don't think Facebook even lets me post it there.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've tried to post it on my Facebook page before, and I don't think they allowed me. I'll I'll try it again. But
All right.
I do have the link in Telegram. So if you have Telegram, I should be able to send it to you. Just send me a
Okay.
message.
Okay, yes, yes, yes. Okay, quick, and this is on the same kind of Germany topic, but in a different direction. So remember that story that I was telling you before we went live about that man that came into a news station and he confessed. Okay, so story time. Get ready, everybody, because this was insane. So on YouTube, my algorithm suggested this video, and the title was "Man Confesses to murdering his parents." And I was like, what? So I click on the video, right? So it's this man from Albany, New York. And if you guys go to YouTube, watch it. It was the craziest, most creepiest interview I've ever seen. Like, we haven't seen real news in a long time. So when this interviewer is interviewing him, he basically said that uh, you know, well, he didn't use the word kill or murder. He said he did his duty as a son to take them basically out of their misery because they were old, and he was making up so many excuses like, oh, they couldn't see anymore, they couldn't hear anymore. You don't want to grow old like that. You know what I'm saying? So he legitimately thinks he did the right thing for them, and I could understand that viewpoint, but it's still wrong, right? Murder is murder. We we agree on that here.
Yeah.
So his defense in that video is crazy. He said that America should be more we should have more lax laws about, like, I guess he meant like assisted suicide, basically. And we know about this in Canada. Like, that was a thing. I remember
Mhm.
how crazy everybody was like, what? This is insane that somebody can agree to end their own life, right? So that was his defense, that he had to do his duty for them, and that America should change its laws so that old people that don't want to, live like that they can end their lives easily. And he went into this whole political explanation about it. And then he inserts that he's from, like, his family is from Germany, or, like, Eastern, European, and that he tried to run for president in 2020. Yeah, so it's a rabbit hole. You have to look it up. It's a crazy story.
You need to send me
And
the link.
yes, I'll send it to you. It is so crazy because and this was after he killed his parents. So that was in 2017. Then in 2020 he does a run, and he runs on those policies. It's crazy. And then 2025, come to find out, he walks into this news station and he says the only reason that I would post my, statement, or basically it's a manifesto about the crime that he committed in 2017, is if they would sit down with him for this interview, and he wants it public. He wants people to watch it and everything. The moment he walks out of that lobby, he gets arrested, and they show you, like, you'll see the clip of him getting arrested. The day after, the same reporter goes to him and asks him a couple of more questions and stuff like that. And this dude is really crazy. Like, I have never seen this type of news in a long time, because what we see is the fall guy, the fake people that they
Yeah.
want to put, that they do these crimes and stuff like that. But this one, I was like, whoa, this is real. Like it's crazy. I'm gonna share it with you. I'm gonna share
Wow.
it with you.
Yeah, I'll have to
Yeah,
check
that
that
was a
out.
little story. um, yeah, that was crazy. So I do have some other clips. Do you want to move on to like the second part of the show? Because I have a bunch of clips that I wanted to show you.
Yeah, let's play our more coming up little
Yes.
thing so I can go use the restroom real quick.
Yep. All right, everybody. So we'll be back in a minute. Perfect. All right, everybody. We are back. Get ready because we still haven't talked about the digital IDs, the government shutdown, the UN speech,
That was
or
awesome.
do you know what my most favorite part about that? Because I didn't even watch it or anything about the UN speech was when everybody did the walkout.
Oh,
And
for Netanyahu.
yes,
They did
that
it last year too.
amazing. I love it. I wish America did that. I mean, that would be the type of protest I would participate in. Like it's appropriate in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, yeah, get up, get up, get up. I was loving it.
Yeah, there was such a difference because nobody walked out on Trump. Nobody. But
Mhm.
three quarters, 75 to 80% of the assembly walked out when Netanyahu got up there.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah. So
I I wouldn't even watch what he has to say. Like, and I was listening to a little bit of it, and even the speech itself was like cope after cope after cope after excuse, and you're supposed to be a world leader,
yeah.
like giving yourself an excuse as to why you kill people. Like, are we listening to the same speech here? Like, what is going
Do,
on?
is that what we want to talk about right now? Is the UN speech? You want to go there first?
I mean, yeah, if you want to, really
Yeah.
quickly.
So, and if anybody wants to join the stage, I guess this is the time to do it. You guys can join the conversation. We have about a 6-minute clip. So first off, if you haven't seen Trump's UN speech he gave, I highly recommend you go watch it and listen to the whole thing. It was amazing. So we do have some clips from it that we'll play and we'll talk about.
All right, so let me find it here. And really quickly, what's the whole point of this UN slash speeches? Because my understanding is that everybody who agrees to be a part of it are supposed to come together to solve global issues, right?
Yeah.
So if no global issues are being resolved, then what's the point of the UN? Why are they coming here?
Trump Trump addresses that in his speech.
Okay, I'm gonna have to take your advice and watch it as well because that really gets me. It's like, what's the point? What's the point of it? If we,
I think even in the clips he mentions this too.
okay, all right.
Now you can choose to play the whole thing, or they do have it broke up in sections because he switches topics. So
Okay.
I mean, if you want to stop it after one topic, then we could talk about it and move on. Ever how you want to do it.
Okay, because I'm a little confused. Like I thought that this guy was like a warrant for his arrest or something. I thought that they took these things seriously, and yet those things were happening around the world. People don't resolve anything. So it's like, what's the point? But anyways, here's the clip. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments. And let me know if you want to pause, Jimmy, whenever you want.
Okay.
Wise in a period of just 7 months, I have ended 7 unendable wars. They said they were unendable. You're never going to get them solved. Some were going for 31 years, 2 of them, 31, think of it, 31 years. One was 36 years. One was 28 years. I ended 7 wars. And in all cases, they were raging with countless thousands of people being killed. I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the first lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen, but she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations: a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. What is the purpose of the United Nations? The UN has such tremendous potential. I've always said it. It has such tremendous, tremendous potential, but it's not even coming close to living up to that potential. For the most part, at least for now, all they seem to do is write a really strongly worded letter and then never follow that letter up. It's empty words, and empty words don't solve war. Many years ago, a very successful real estate developer in New York, known as Donald J. Trump, I bid on the renovation and rebuilding of this very United Nations complex. I remember it so well. I said at the time that I would do it for $500 million, rebuilding everything. It would be beautiful. I used to talk about, I'm going to give you marble floors. They're going to give you terrazzo. I'm going to give you the best of everything. You're going to have mahogany walls. They're going to give you plastic. But they decided to go in another direction, which was much more expensive at the time, and which actually produced a far inferior product. And I realized that they did not know what they were doing when it came to construction, and that their building concepts were so wrong, and the product that they were proposing to build was so bad and so costly. It was going to cost them a fortune. And I said, and wait till you see the overruns. Well, I turned out to be right. They had massive cost overruns and spent between $2 and $4 billion on the building and did not even get the marble floors that I promised them. You walk on terrazzo. Do you notice that? As far as I'm concerned, frankly, looking at the building and getting stuck on the escalator, they still haven't finished the job. They still haven't finished. That was years ago. Millions of people came through that southern border just a year ago. Millions and millions of people were pouring in, 25 million altogether over the 4 years of the incompetent Biden administration. And now we have it stopped, totally stopped. In fact, they're not even coming anymore because they know they can't get through. But what took place is totally unacceptable. The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them and not finance them. In the United States, we reject the idea that mass numbers of people from foreign lands can be permitted to travel halfway around the world, trample our borders, violate our sovereignty, cause unmitigated crime, and deplete our social safety net. We have reasserted that America belongs to the American people, and I encourage all countries to take their own stand in defense of their citizens as well. You have to do that because I see it. I'm not mentioning names. I see it, and I can call every single one of them out. You're destroying your countries. They're being destroyed. Europe is in serious trouble. They've been invaded by a force of illegal aliens like nobody's ever seen before. Illegal aliens are pouring into Europe. Nobody is ever, and nobody's doing anything to change it, to get them out. It's not sustainable. And because they choose to be politically correct, they're doing just absolutely nothing about it. I look at London, where you have a terrible mayor, terrible, terrible mayor. And it's been so changed, so changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law, but you're in a different country. You can't do that. Both the immigration and their suicidal energy ideas will be the death of Western Europe if something is not done immediately. This cannot be sustained. Another UN official stated in 1989 that within a decade, entire nations could be wiped off the map by global warming. Not happening. You know, it used to be global cooling. If you look back years ago in the 1920s and the 1930s, they said, global cooling will kill the world. We have to do something. Then they said global warming will kill the world. But then it started getting cooler. So now they could just call it climate change, because that way they can't miss. It's climate change. Because if it goes higher or lower, whatever the hell happens, there's climate change. It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion. Climate change, no matter what happens, you're involved in that. No more global warming, no more global cooling. All of these predictions made by the United Nations and many others, often for bad reasons, were wrong. They were made by stupid people that have cost their countries fortunes and given those same countries no chance for success. If you don't get away from this green scam, your country is going to fail.
Tells it like it is, doesn't he?
And yeah, I agree with everything 100%. I love Trump, and I love how he just says it how it is. If it just wasn't for those issues that I've spoken about before, I would be all in. I really would. I really
Yeah.
would.
Like I said, totally get that. But this speech, this is why I say go back and watch the whole thing, because he pulls no punches with these folks. The way he gave this speech to the World Economic Forum, basically called them all out. When he went to the European Union and did that, he called them all out. And now here he is at the United Nations again, calling them all out for their crap. You know,
But isn't that the purpose of the, like he said, what's the purpose? And I literally just said that too. What is the purpose of the United Nations if what is happening right now, great example is the Israel stuff, the Ukraine stuff, isn't that what this is supposed to
well, it's
resolve
supposed to. I mean, it's
issues?
supposed to. But if you think about it, it was, the deep state players in the past that these new world order people, they created the League of Nations, which ended up being the United Nations. And this is just a front for them. This is to make it look like they want to bring world peace or whatever. But no,
Okay.
you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's kind of like, a lot of people hear about, the Red Cross. And when you hear about the Red Cross, you think, oh, they're a good organization. They help people in war. Then you find out how corrupt and evil the Red Cross is and what they're involved in. Same thing here with the UN. They make it sound like they're helping nations, they're doing this, doing that, putting a peacekeeping force here, doing this. But behind the scenes, these people are evil as hell. The amount of human trafficking allowed to happen by the UN is unfathomable.
Wow. So can you write that down as another homework, the Red
What's
Cross?
that?
Because I have not gone down that
Oh, you
rabbit
ain't going
hole.
down that. You ain't going down that rabbit hole. Okay,
Nope. So please
let's
write
do.
that down.
Let's put Red Cross rabbit hole. Okay. All
Yeah.
right, we can do that. All right.
Yeah. You have to educate me on that one. Send me some stuff. And you guys too in the chat. You could send stuff to the Facebook page or Facebook group, whatever. I don't know nothing about that one, but I get your point. And you see, this is my, I don't know, ADHD. Sometimes I lose the plot. And then when you say something like that, I'm like, "Oh yeah, duh. Of course they would fake something like that."
Exactly. Hey, Bo.
Hey
Go
guys,
here.
when you
Hey.
guys are talking about the UN, there's something really I think is really interesting. We'll go off what Jimmy just said about the corruption and stuff. So there was like some kind of documentary about the UN that was a while ago that talked about the UN leadership and how many of them have been accused or did rape people. And it was something
What?
between like 20 or 30% of the leadership of the
Yep.
UN has been involved in that. But because of the way the UN is set up, countries that they do this to, they can't go after them because the UN is set up as basically their own nation. And so
Mhm.
they would commit these crimes and then the UN wouldn't charge them with it and then they wouldn't be able to do anything about it. And
Yep.
this is coming from one of the major news stations like NSNBC or whatever, one of the ones that have gone
Mhm.
woke. But I thought it
Mhm.
was really interesting because when you think about that and you think about what they're doing now, if you guys have seen the Secretary of War Pete, what he just
Mhm.
did about the
Oh yeah.
Yep.
anti-woke thing, which I'm pretty sure you guys are probably talking about it.
Mhm.
Trump is letting, my opinion, know that all this woke stuff, they know it's from China and they know it's people taking bribes in the UN, everything. He is warning China that we're not messing around and that we are preparing for war because right now Russia and China are doing like tactical, I don't know how to say this correctly, but tactical trainings, I guess, in
Mm.
order to take land. And so they're preparing to take Taiwan together. And the US is saying, okay, under Biden's administration, our leadership was a joke. And they could probably have pulled it off because Biden was so passive, was letting them do what they want, which is kind of weird because Biden, if you know about Biden and if you know how Biden's family was connected to China, then they would understand why they were so willing to do and they were so brave. And now they're like, oh crap. And then Trump is like, I'm warning you, we are preparing for the war and it's not going to be pretty. And that's what it looks like to me. I'm
Mm.
curious what you think.
Very interesting that I didn't even think about that. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining.
Yeah. I love it when Bo comes on. I love his insight on things. What exactly you want my opinion on that, Bo, on what I think about the whole war thing?
Yeah, I was curious what you and Ruby think because I always like to get. I mean, because I'll be honest with you, I always say this, but Ruby's in this different age group, and so what
Mhm.
she sees is different than what me and Jimmy are seeing. And
Mhm.
I'm curious what Jimmy knows something that I don't know,
Yeah,
basically.
we touched on this a little bit at the beginning of the program. Um, my whole thing with what's going on, um, I think they're going to build this up to make it look scary and look like we're going to war. Um, they could even say that there's going to be a missile fired and we got 12 hours before it comes. Or they're going to build this up. But I
Mhm.
don't think we are going to end up in a full blown World War III because we've been in World War III since 2015, I believe. And there's some people that say that World War II never ended and we're still in it.
Oh boy.
That could be an argument some people can make. But I don't think, because if you look at Trump's record, Ruby just said, why don't they just give him the Peace Prize?
Mhm.
So right there, that says that Trump doesn't want a world war. He's stopping wars in other nations. He's trying to get these countries to stand up for themselves, express their sovereignty in their nations. He told them, hey, if you keep going green, your country is going to fail, which we know that to be the case. If the country goes green, it doesn't work.
No.
So I think there's going to be a buildup and a narrative, but I
Mhm.
don't think we're going to see a full blown battle World War III. I don't think it's happening. I don't think Trump wants that.
Mm-mm. No. But if it does happen, like Bo said, they're gonna try to take it together, right? Because Taiwan is supposed to be something that they're not supposed to touch. Or I mean, I know a little bit about that.
Well, see,
So
technically,
the thing
Mhm.
about Taiwan, why it's so important, we will never lose it, is because all the major microchips that we use for our
Right.
advanced weaponry are built there. So if we
Right.
lose Taiwan, that means our advanced technology goes to crap.
And see, and that's and technically the land of Taiwan technically belongs to China. It's kind of like Ukraine belongs to
Right.
Russia.
Right.
So it's the same thing. But then they have a lot of the semiconductors and the microchips are made in Taiwan. But then look at what Trump's been trying to do about getting this production of these semiconductors and everything here in the United States. So if they worked out a deal, okay, this is speculation right here. So let's say they worked out a deal to give Taiwan back to China, along with being able to access their rare earth materials so that we could have jobs here in the United States using those rare earth materials to make these semiconductors and chips and things like that.
Can I push back on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, okay, so just from having colleagues in the military and stuff and being in the industry with technology, I don't think they would ever do a deal like that because China, like, I don't know how much you guys talk about China's technology compared to the US and where it actually really is. So, like, China, for an example, they can't really even build like advanced helicopters like we have because their technology is so far behind the United States. Like, it's way far behind than what I originally realized after like learning about some of this. Their microchips are like 50 years behind
Really?
what we have. Now, when I'm saying that, I'm not talking about what's in the marketplace that me and you buy. We're talking about military grade
Right.
chips.
Okay.
And they're so far behind that the US will never, because if here's the thing about China, if China gets a hold of Taiwan and gets those chips, then they'll be able to make a leap of, it may not be exactly at our level, but it'll be very close. But they have the ability to mass produce things at a level we don't. I mean, if you
I see what
look
you're
at how
saying.
many ships we built, like just look at the Navy. Like for every one ship we build, they're building 15.
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and then I'm not saying that those 15 ships are equivalent or equal to ours because they're not. They're not even close. But the fact is, you have one really advanced ship fighting 15 ships. That's really not good odds. And
Right.
with
Right.
drone warfare taking over, they have the industry. I mean, they're putting so much money into building plants for AI and for basically drone warfare because everyone knows drone warfare is where it's going.
Oh yeah.
So
Totally.
that's just my little drawback. Just throwing it out there.
Oh, but that's the excuse though. That's the exact excuse that they're gonna use. That's why we have to go to war, and that's what I told Jimmy earlier. It's like I don't care about none of that, and that's why I'm probably not the best person to ask because I am anti. No, what's that word? What's the word called for like global politics? Geopolitics. I'm
Yeah.
anti-geopolitical. I do not care. Like, why are those facilities in Taiwan? It should be in America. We should be making everything in America.
I don't know why. Honestly, I have no idea why they're there. I honestly don't.
Well, I'm assuming it's a deal.
I mean,
Go ahead, Jimmy.
I was going to say, but we have somebody else on the stage. Do we want
Oh
them
yes,
to go?
welcome Gail, Gigi. She's on the stage. Welcome, Gigi. Have a thought?
Yeah, I do. I know it has a lot to do with the minerals. I know that's why Trump wanted Canada and he wanted, was it Greenland?
Greenland.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with the minerals. And Taiwan, I guess, is the number one for lithium or whatever it is to make the chips. Well, I saw something tonight and it has to do with Epstein. And it's very disturbing. And I don't know if you want me to say it. I don't know if anybody watches Sean Atwood's show. Does anybody know who Sean Atwood is?
I've seen him.
Okay. He had a woman on tonight talking about one of Epstein's victims. Well, she said that there was a baby cloning farm in his, was it Mexico? Where was one of his villas? Was it in Mexico?
It was in New Mexico, some ranch.
And he's a CI PSYOP. And she was pretty explicit about the cloning baby farm. And I just couldn't believe my ears, but who knows what's going on. But she said eventually they think this is going to come out, but they're trying to stop it from coming out because of the subject matter. I didn't know if you talked about TikTok with Larry Ellison, who is the co-owner of Oracle. Was that discussed at all?
We have not talked about that yet.
But
Can I
I
mention it?
saw it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
All right. Larry Ellison, who's the co-owner of Oracle. He is one of the top 3 billionaire investors with this new AI project that Trump is endorsing. I don't know if it started yet in Texas, I believe. Well, he's a very good friend of Netanyahu. He's pro-Israel. And I was doing, I start thinking a lot, and I'm like trying to put the puzzle together. Maybe CK got in the way. And this is why they got rid of Mr. CK, because of all this Israel pro stuff. And I listened to what Netanyahu said. I don't know if anybody's seen this video. He was very arrogant, and he said he owns all our cell phones, a piece of all our cell phones and our intel. And he's not the fool that a lot of people in Europe think he is, that he's got a large, very forceful military, whatever the rest of that word is. So it was very interesting to listen to him. And I think that Israel's behind the CK situation. And Israel seems to be behind a lot of stuff. And I think, I don't know if anybody watched the press conference with Netanyahu and Trump. They were supposed to meet at 1, but I don't know what was going on behind the scenes. They didn't come on until after 2. But Trump, I don't know if anybody else noticed this. Trump looked very nervous. He was really off his game. And I kept watching his body language, and I didn't know what was going on with him. He just seemed like he was nervous or something, but that's when they were talking about trying to end the war and get hostages back and stuff. And then he mentioned, what's the ex-prime minister? Tony Blair. And I'm like, what's this Tony Blair got to do with all this stuff? Well, anyway, I'm going to do some digging about Tony Blair, but I thought that was interesting about Larry Ellison. And Larry Ellison also wants to depopulate the world. So
I think we're going to see more people, bigger names, being put into the spotlight, so people will start doing what we do. We dig on them. We find out about them. We find out who they're connected to, who they've been involved with. So that way, when disclosure, declass happens, then people have an idea of what's being said about these folks.
And also the Snake Eye movies, the Snake Eye movie.
I tell you what, I have never had so many messages in the past week about a subject than I have about that movie Snake Eyes.
Because it just came out. It hit the YouTube like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, everybody. I probably got 50 some messages. Jimmy, have you seen the Snake Eyes thing? Jimmy, did you hear about that? And I appreciate it. But it was crazy.
So from
the parallel,
1998,
I'm sorry, you cannot deny the parallel. You can't.
Oh no, you can't deny it. Yeah, it's crazy.
it's with Nicolas Cage, right? 1998.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so all right, put that down. I'm gonna watch it. We'll do a little review, because I've seen that there's a connection to the theory of the Charlie Kirk stuff. So we need to do that. And there was a lot of stuff that came out about his wife too, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole. So we need to do a whole Tuesday about this.
There's a lot to talk about. Well, can I just say one thing? On the Snake Eyes, it's the same name. It was Charles Kirkland was the guy, I believe, that was assassinated.
Yeah.
Same day, September 10th.
Yeah.
Same suspect's name and the same injury on his neck. So
I know.
I want everybody to watch it. You gotta watch
everybody. That's homework for everybody.
It
Watch the Europe documentary. Watch Snake Eyes, and we're gonna come back and do a more structured topic and dive into it.
Let me ask.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Gigi.
Erica, well, there's a scene in the Snake Eyes that she quotes the same thing he says in the movie Snake Eyes, but I won't give it away. You have to watch the movie to see it.
And she was involved in a country music video.
Yes, I saw that. Oh my
and
God.
When she's zip lining in the video, she passes a sign that says 910. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And the video is 3 minutes and 22 seconds long, which is 322, which is the number for the Skull and Bones.
Oh, wow.
So you see, this sometimes it goes too far for me, and
I need a drink after this. Jeez.
yeah, but you see, that's different. Well, maybe it's not different. Maybe a music video is
Oh,
not
no.
different than a movie. But for me, if it's a movie, right, because we know about the connection with Hollywood, that's more believable for me, just personal. So I need to watch that movie and then see the connections again. So I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
So definitely we're gonna do that.
Bo, what do you
Oh,
think? What do you think about all that?
yeah, before we move on to another subject.
Well,
Go ahead, Bo.
I mean, let's be honest. Like it fits the MO, honestly, because
Yeah.
they want to show you what they're doing. It's part of their ritual. They all do it, and I mean, how do you get those many coincidences all at once? Like, I mean, if you were to put that in, like break it down to an equation, like what is the possibility of that?
Right.
Mhm.
And it's like next to none. And then one more thing, I was going to throw in here, but I want to interrupt you guys when you were talking about the Epstein thing. You guys know about the Sophia doll from Hong Kong, right?
No.
Nope.
No.
You don't? Okay.
No.
No.
So before Epstein got caught with all this other stuff, because Epstein is involved in a lot of AI companies, okay?
Mhm.
He was developing a robot called Sophia, which is interesting because, it seems like that name
Watchful.
comes up a lot anymore with weird stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
That doll actually had a recording device and had like a visual system built into it. And the theory is that kids would buy this toy and that the doll would be able to send transmissions when the parents aren't home.
What?
Holy crap!
No.
Yeah,
Are
because
you serious?
it had the ability to it would be able to record, and it's an actual computer. It's like a little toy computer. Now, I will say Hong Kong has denied the connections, and the founder David Hansen says no, this is not true. But come on, who's going to admit that Epstein was working with you?
Write that down, Jimmy. Write it
I
down. We
already
gotta.
did. Already did.
Oh,
Already
Okay.
did.
wow. I'm gonna look this up myself.
I already wrote that down.
Oh, we
I'm
have to.
moving to an island. I'm getting away.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
Hansen Robotics.
Wow.
You might want to be careful what island you go to because you might not know what's already there.
That's
Yeah,
true,
that it
too.
ain't safe
I'm gonna
nowhere.
go to
It ain't
Ireland.
safe
I'm gonna
nowhere.
go to Ireland with my granddaughter. Oh boy.
Oh my! Wow, Bo. Thank you for
Sophia.
joining. Thank
What's
you
the
for
t-
all of your
There's always
comments.
something. There's
Well,
always
it's
something.
interesting that they use Sophia in their dramas, Sophia and Caleb.
Well, go look up the history of the name Sophia and how far
Oh,
back.
write that down, Jimmy. You said
Yeah,
that Tuesday.
yeah.
Say that again.
The history of Sophia, the name of Sophia, and
The
what it
name.
actually ties to. Um,
Also, Fran and Joe had it on their show last week.
Exactly. Joe and Fran did a thing on it, and I didn't watch that episode. The one episode I missed. So I'm gonna have to rewatch Joe and Fran's clip. But Jimmy, you gotta bring it. You gotta bring the Sophia info.
Okay, it's gonna be a rabbit hole that Hey,
Oh gosh.
y'all said y'all wanted to go down rabbit holes with us, so that's gonna be one of them. And I'm gonna go ahead and let you know when Laurel comes on here, whenever she does come on here,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
y'all better have your digging boots on for that one. So
Who's
yeah,
Laura?
Wow.
Laurel Gonis, she was my co-host on The Big Picture.
Okay.
And she's got some connections and some stuff so deep so she can't tell me. So
Wow.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So
Wow, that was very interesting. I am excited for our upcoming Tuesdays evenings because I love it when you guys bring stuff like this.
so since we're talking about the Sophia doll and the computer and all this crap, AI, this will be another. I love how we naturally segue into our next topic. It's great. So let's play the video I sent you from the Palantir thing, and I want Bo to. I want you to stay on with us, Bo, if you can, because I want you to see this and talk about this subject.
Oh yes, okay.
New Palantir commercial ad that just came out that you guys need to check out. There is this new Palantir commercial ad that just came out that you guys need to check out. You guys do remember who Palantir is, right? The new data integration company that's helping the Department of Defense, the IRS, the DOD, DOGE, and all these, and ICE, the People's Handling Immigration. But check this thing out, y'all. This is crazy.
Good morning, citizens. Your overnight account balances have been updated. Time to start a productive day. Final notice, your account balance is below 500. You need 50 credits by the end of the day to avoid automatic eviction. If you have missed work due to illness, you must provide a doctor's note to reclaim your credits.
Any extra credits? Please.
Tensions are high today, with more people planning to join the Citizens Against Digital Control protest. Remember, the government knows who you are at all times. Resisting is not worth the consequences. All of their newest social credit systems are designed to keep you and your families safe and efficient.
Authorities seized a record balance of an individual's credits, citing excessive hoarding.
Traffic violation detected. 7 miles per hour over the limit. 75 credits have been automatically deducted.
You have to be fucking kidding me.
Yep, you got the flu. Your blood work shows a significant iron deficiency. I recommend incorporating more red meat into your diet.
Dr. Jones, your taxes were not filed and have been automatically deducted with late fees. Your medical license has been revoked.
Oh, hell nah, I filed an extension.
Purchase denied. Monthly red meat allowance exceeded. Try mealworms instead.
Can you guys please let me through?
Attention. Unauthorized political gathering detected. Participants' access to financial services has been suspended. Due to the speeding infraction, your car will be immobilized for 3 days.
Fuck you! Take your surveillance policies and rot in hell!
You've earned 50 bonus credits for reporting your neighbor's hateful misconduct. This content exceeds your current social credit tier. May we suggest citizen responsibility? Sarah, open the door. You have been identified by the authorities. Don't resist. Don't resist. Don't resist.
There is this new
2 words: smart city.
Yep.
Social credit scores. That's what that is.
Yep.
That's all those countries that refuse to give their land over for the smart cities, and they all magically caught on fire. Which, they did catch some of those people, and if I recall right, and this may not be correct, but from what I saw, almost every member that did get caught causing those fires was associated with Antifa.
Correct. And who's behind that?
New World Order.
And
Personal Army.
Well,
George Soros.
there you go, George Soros.
Okay, so hold on.
And that's
So-
why he's. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, sorry, I'm a little confused about the ad. What is the ad? Is it in promotion of it or not? Like, is this a warning or
Oh, it's a
are
warning.
they introducing
It's
something?
a warning. It's a warning.
It's telling you they're going to control every aspect of your life, that they can
okay.
destroy you within a second. You'll have no freedoms, no nothing. That's what they're warning you.
And this is why England has come out and saying that they're going to go to a digital ID. They're going to try
Let
to
me
get.
play the clip. Let
Okay.
me play that clip. Oh my, oh my, this is scary. Okay, let's watch this because this was insane.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them. And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems if we don't also take on the root causes, looking upstream to tackle poverty, conflict. And that is why today I am announcing.
That is one evil, sadistic man.
Oh, yeah.
Evil. Just evil. He cannot wait to control everything, and then their abuse is going to be like nothing we've ever seen before. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, my opinion, that we know how the United States, we know what they did to us that made us finally say enough is enough and break away from the queens and kings. And I think that it's going to happen again. I think that Europe is going to split.
Oh, yeah. Europe is waking up.
Yeah.
But
They
do
are
you think it
waking
would actually really pass though? I mean, he talks about it like it's a good thing, but I don't think it would pass. What do you think it will pass?
Okay, so let me back up. What you're seeing is you're seeing remnants of deep state players trying to, a lot of them have been cut off from the top. And so you got a lot of these mid-level deep state players out there, like Keir Starmer. So he's going to try to say, well, I'm going to take over the reins and this is what I'm going to do to keep our agenda going. That's why he sounds so brazen about it. So you're going to see some of these people do that, especially, we saw it in Canada, we've seen it in Australia. But it's going to fail. They're going to fail.
But hold on. Okay. Okay.
I believe they're going to fail.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're already getting pushed back from the people.
Yeah.
Okay, because you see, this is the scary part, and this is why I fear for America too, is that people are too brainwashed and they give up their rights for safety, right? We talk about this all the time.
Yes.
It literally says it there in the headline in the bottom. It says, for far too long, it's been too easy to come to this country illegally. But whose fault is that? You see, we got to go back to the source of the problem. So now, because of their immigration issues, just like us, now they want to force everybody to do this digital ID to work in the UK instead of mass deportations.
Right.
Exactly.
To take out all the illegal immigrants that you claim is too much. It's overwhelming. So why not fix the issue? Why introduce a whole new element into society? That's the problem. And I think people are gonna fall for it because they see the chaos. They see the prayer calls that we talked about. It's happening here. So imagine London. Imagine them. You know what I'm saying? So that to me is scary because I think that they're gonna fold. They're gonna fall for it.
Well, yeah, because people, he's using the fear factor about work. If you don't get this, you're not going to have a job. They did a test pilot with COVID. How many people ran and got the COVID vaccine? I'm glad I never did. So it was a test pilot. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but to me,
you're absolutely correct.
That was a test pilot to see how the masses are going to fall for it. And this is what's going to happen with the green card. Everybody's going to, I need my job, and they're going to fall for it. But the dark side to this digital green card that's already happened in the UK, they used it and they're using it in daycares. These scumbags are going after the daycares. They're using their photos, their addresses, their insurance for all the daycare centers in the UK. And they're stealing all their identities and they're blackmailing some of the parents with this. So this is already causing violence in the country because of it. I think a lot of us are going to say that woke up from the COVID that we're not going to go for it. I'm not.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bo.
No, I'm not going for it.
Oh, I was just going to ask, do you guys, in your opinion, do you guys think that this is going to end up like the 1980s, like Russia's Bolshevik, the leadership with the UK?
That's going to fold?
Well, like the Bolsheviks, basically, they went in there and they just killed the kings and queens of Russia and killed the royal families because they were so corrupt.
All right, wait. Let me see. So you're going back to the early 1900s, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so repeat that again. Sorry, Bo. I want to make sure I was.
Okay, sorry, maybe I didn't frame it correctly, but I'm with the destabilization of England and just everyone in general. One of the things I'm wondering is if people are going to get so tired of the New World Order over in England that they're going to end up like 1918, like the Bolsheviks when they went in there and wiped out the royal families.
Mm-hmm.
So in this situation, who would be the ones going out and
The New World
wiping?
Order leaders, like we're talking about, like the leadership that's pushing all the woke agendas onto the people, like just the general government.
Oh, that they would go in and get rid of everybody, try to get rid of everybody. Oh, they've been trying to do that for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but what I'm trying to say is, do you think that they're just going to be too mild, or do you think this is going to lead up and it's going to explode into like violence? This is basically what I'm asking.
Well, I don't know.
I don't think so.
I hope.
I don't think so, and the only reason why I say that is because of what I believe that's going on. Like I said, I believe a lot of these people have already been taken care of, and those that you're seeing right now are put out there to show the people what they wanted to do to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So
you think the war's already over, and that this is just the people who have like, okay, we lost, but I'm going to let the public know what we're doing so that when the new regime comes in?
I think what we're seeing is I don't think the deep state, there's still factions out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what we're seeing right now is a cleanup operation.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these people that are still part of the deep state, they end up showing themselves. And they could have already been contacted and been like, hey, this is the role you're going to have to play now. You're going to have to go out there and tell everybody that this is what you want is digital ID.
Before I introduce,
that's a theory.
Before I introduce Jesse here on the stage, last thought I have about that, I think we're gonna have to come to their rescue. We're gonna liberate the UK, and it's gonna be like the other way around. Instead of being against them, we're actually gonna have to help
You
them.
have no clue how right you are right there.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it in my spirit. I'm like, you know what? I really do think that beef is over, and we're gonna have to go over there and help them out.
You do not know how close you are on track to that.
Good one.
Because what's happening is we're also, let's just say the military alliance, they are liberating these countries from these deep state players.
Right.
I believe it's happening right now behind the scenes.
Yes. So welcome to the stage, Jesse. How do you feel?
Hi, Jesse.
Hello, Gigi, Jimmy, Bo.
Hey, Jesse.
I like a crack at Bo's question when he compared the 1917 Bolshevik Revolution and the killing off of the Romanovs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think if you follow the 1917 Bolshevik Revolution, there was a man on the scene who can make the world change, and that was Vladimir Lenin. But he was in exile in Switzerland, and it took the bankers, wasn't it? It was the bankers that trained him through Germany back into Russia.
Correct.
And finished off the Russian Revolution in 1917 and brought the Bolsheviks to power. But I don't know of anybody on the planet that powerful of a human figure, that transformative. The only guy, let me throw a name at you, who I think the left could rally around, or the deep state, or wherever you want to call them, and that would be Yuval Noah Harari. That's the guy that I see who could be a transformative figure for the deep state, because he has some demonic ideas, man.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like what, second in command to Klaus Schwab at the World Economic Forum.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who he is.
Yeah.
But
I don't know why, but my gut says I ain't worried about him.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you another problem. Can I tell you, Ruby, a problem I have? I don't know if you follow my brother Gilbert. You guys know my brother Gilbert?
Yeah.
I know of him, but I've never met him.
He's scared. He's scared right now, and
Why?
he's hiding in a bunker in Phoenix because he heard that the Watchtower is saying that the end might not come in our lifetime. And Gilbert's mathematical equation uses Jehovah. He knows that the Jehovah's Witnesses are the most wrong religion in the history of mankind. So my brother thinks that the end is going to come now. And we've done some math and we revised the Daniel 4, 252 days, day for a year. And we came up with the end, July 4th, 2026.
Nah.
Did you say July 4th?
July 4th.
That's my birthday.
Wow, you were born on the 4th of July?
Yes, I was. 1950.
1950?
Yeah.
I'll speak slower.
Jesse, stop.
Can I give you a clue? Isaac Newton come out and said that the end was going to be 2030. It's kind of close, isn't he? Or 2028 is what others are saying.
Yes, but Gigi, this is my argument. The witnesses are so wrong in every prophecy. They are more wrong than Joe Biden. Nobody in the history of mankind has ever been more wrong. So if they're saying the end is not going to come, see why my brother's scared? Why he's hiding?
This is why we stay close to politics as much as possible, Jesse.
Oh.
So
Gigi's
really back
in a bunker. We're going to have to call him. He's in a bunker hiding, cowering.
Are you serious?
Yes.
He's fine.
Nah, he's messing with
No,
us.
Gilbert's fine. He's not. I think Gilbert's fine.
I told him, don't watch governing body videos. And he went and saw one that said the end is not going to come in our lifetime. And it scared him.
Nah, I don't think anything's gonna happen. Honestly, I don't think a civil war is gonna happen. I don't think World War III is gonna happen. I don't think nothing's gonna happen.
No, Ruby, he thinks
that's another.
Well, I'm
another
going to throw a wrench in this topic. I think the Antichrist is going to be showing up very soon. And you
See,
may
that's
not
what
agree with
Gilbert
me.
thinks.
I
And
think
that
the
it's not even-
Antichrist is going to be showing up very soon. And all this is all, the stage has all been set for him to show up.
I'm not even buying the whole Antichrist thing anymore. You know how many for years. I really don't like going into this topic, but whatever.
I know you don't, and I'm not. I don't want to talk religion, and I'm not selling it. What I'm saying is just follow the history, follow what's going on out there.
Yes.
Everything that's happening in the Book of Revelation is what's going on right now.
But see, that's the problem that I have, Gigi. Is I think that book was written as a playbook for the deep state players. Hold on. This goes back centuries.
It does, yeah.
So that's why I say
millennia.
And it's so I think that they're trying to play it out so that the Christians will be fooled to thinking that the end is coming, and then they're the ones that take control. So anyway, that's all I got. That's all I got to say about that.
Gilbert thinks that the end is going to come in November with that Atlas 31.
Boy, well, I hope he's.
Well, I can't help that people are going to continue to live in fear.
I don't live in fear, but I'm going to say I love
there's little
God.
green men in there.
I love God and I love His Son. And I believe in God and I believe in His Son. I believe what Jesus said about the last days. I believe we're living in it. I don't care what anybody else thinks. This is what I think. I have a relationship with my Heavenly Father, and that's all that matters to me.
And that's all that matters. You know,
I'm not afraid either.
There's one more thing that matters. We have a president who's not afraid of aliens. And if Atlas 31 has little green men, Donald Trump will deport them. Back out of the
or
atmosphere.
bomb them.
I'm glad you came on.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you.
So let's completely change the subject and ask this question: do you think aliens have visited any world leaders in the past?
I know, but I think demons have.
Take it one at a time. One person at a time. That's a great question, Jimmy. Let Bo go first.
What do you think, Bo?
My personal opinion is that what we call extraterrestrials, I think, are just interdimensional entities. You can call them demons. You can call them whatever you want.
Thank you.
I don't think they're from outer space. I think they're from probably second heaven or third heaven.
Thank you.
Okay, that's fair.
Interesting.
That's what the collider is for.
Yeah.
You guys ever heard that?
No, I
You know,
know
the Tower of
go down
Babel. If you look at the Tower of Babel, some of the new things
Oh,
that have been talking about it, the Tower of Babel is more like an energy source rather than a big building leading up to heaven. And they're saying that it's actually a giant reactor, and they were trying to create a wormhole.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Wow.
Let me throw this out. Why do you think the Satan movements are so popular and growing? immensely. Why do you think that? Really think about that. And what about all the rock? Not all that sold their soul to the devil. Do you believe in all that stuff?
Can I have a crack at that, Gigi? Can I have a crack
Go
at
right ahead.
Well, I was alive in the bicentennial in 1976, and I remember the rock and roll songs were about the top of the world, the Carpenters. Everybody loved America in 1970. I lived it. I saw it with my own eyes. And what comes after 75? 76, the Spirit. And ever since then, everybody has been knocking and hating on America. If you travel the United States, you have people burning the flag. You have hate. The same thing has happened to religion. There's been a hate and a contempt for God. So naturally, the evil forces will rise. It's like a vacuum.
Oh, Jimmy.
What?
So talking about good and evil, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the UN happened, right? We kind of
Yeah.
saw that. Was it for Syria that it was the former Al Qaeda leader sitting as a representative for the UN? Did you see that?
Yes. Yeah, I heard about it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Not even allowed. And then both said like how they're their own nation and they commit crimes and nothing happens to them. What is that?
I can
It's
answer
all.
this.
Oh, go ahead, Bo.
So it's a Taliban leader, right?
Yeah, something like
So
that.
do you guys know about the construction that's going on in the Middle East, what the Taliban has been doing?
No.
They're building a giant dam and they're controlling all the water that is going to the Middle East.
Wow.
That's why they're playing ball with them, because they have control of the water. So that means all the other countries that are dependent on the dam that they've just done now are going to, because water is power. Think about Dune. Remember the movie Dune? You know, water power, you know, spice and all that. Well, basically, they control the water. They control those countries now. That's why all these countries are starving of water more so than they ever had before, because the Taliban just dammed everything up.
Is that why Trump wants a Bagram Air Base back?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you said.
Is that why Trump wants Bagram Air Base back?
I don't know. I just know about the dam, but I don't know about the base, honestly.
I haven't heard anything on that yet, Jesse, through my sources. But I need to keep my ear out and maybe look that up and see if that's the case. And maybe that's why he wants it. But I will say that there's a Q post out there that has said to watch the water. We don't know exactly what that means, which water to watch, but there is a post out there that says watch the water.
You sound like Gilbert, because Gilbert talks about the water of Revelations.
Huh.
That's why he hasn't drank no water, no Tylenol. He's disappearing.
Jesus.
You have to have water.
So.
Oh, okay. So so it's 11:35. 30 minutes. We're gonna wrap it up. But we gotta talk about the government shutdown really quickly. That it might happen, or it already did happen, because at around 10:31, John Marciano said, "Government shutdown has happened already. What do you think, Ruby and Jimmy?" So, I mean, I do have a clip. I can play it, and then I really want one of you guys to kind of explain what that means. What it is. I've heard this before. Government shutdown. So let's talk about that for at least 30 minutes.
We just had a very frank conversation with the Senate and House Democratic leadership. Look, the principle at stake here is very simple. We have disagreements about tax policy, but you don't shut that government down. We have disagreements about healthcare policy, but you don't shut the government down. You don't use your policy disagreements as leverage to not pay our troops, to not have essential services of government actually function. You don't say the fact that you disagree about a particular tax provision is an excuse for shutting down the people's government and all the essential services that come along with it. If you look at what Chuck Schumer has said in the past consistently, it's whatever our disagreements are, let's negotiate with them. Let's talk about them. Let's figure out a bipartisan solution, but you don't shut the government down. In other words, you don't put a gun to the American people's head and say, unless you do exactly what Senate and House Democrats want you to do, we're going to shut down your government. That's exactly what they're proposing out there. Now, we have to remember, they're very frustrated. They say that they're very frustrated about the fact that this negotiation has not taken place until today. But if you look at the original thing they did with this negotiation, it was a $1.5 trillion spending package, basically saying to the American people, we want to give massive amounts of money, hundreds of billions of dollars to illegal aliens for their health care, while Americans are struggling to pay their health care bills. That was their initial foray into this negotiation. We thought it was absurd. We told them it was absurd, and now they come in here saying that if you don't give us everything that we want, we're going to shut down the government. We think that's preposterous. We think it's totally unacceptable, and we think the American people are going to suffer because these guys won't do the right thing. Now, I want to make one final point here. You will hear a lot from Senate Democrats, from House Democrats about the fact that American healthcare policy is broken. Well, we know that American healthcare policy is broken. We've been trying to fix it for the 8 months that we've been in office, but every single thing that they accuse about being broken about American healthcare is policy the Democrats have supported for the past decade. So if they want to talk about how to fix American healthcare policy, let's do it. The Speaker would love to do it. The Senate Majority Leader would love to do it. Let's work on it together, but let's do it in the context of an open government that's providing essential services to the American people. That's all that we're proposing to do, and the fact that they refuse to do that shows how unreasonable their position is. I think we're headed to a shutdown because the Democrats won't do the right thing. I hope they change their mind, but we're going to see.
All right, Ruby, before we move on, I want everybody to just think about how he presented himself, okay, and the way he conducted himself. Ruby, go over to my Facebook page, please, and look for the one I just posted here, like in the last, right before we came on the show, where I said something about these clowns or whatever. It's the lady in the purple hair. We're going to play her in a second, but there, I think it's that.
This one?
Yeah. Now watch how she reacts.
Who does not? We got the Secretary of Health and Human Services who does not believe in vaccines.
Do you think the COVID vaccine?
And so that what he would do is to really make it more difficult for people to be able to fight back on these diseases, whatever the nature of the next pandemic will be.
Do you think the COVID vaccines are still necessary, even though they've been shown to do more harm than good?
Well, I don't know that they've shown to do more harm than good. I don't know where you get your
Senator Ron Johnson has done a lot of great.
Oh my God, Senator Ron Johnson, and he and the Secretary of Health and Human Services ought to go find some other job to do, because we saved millions of lives with vaccines. And
it doesn't even stop transmission.
You know, my friend, are you a scientist? Are you a medical professional?
I think
tell me this. Are you a scientist?
I am
not
not
a medical professional. No. Are you a researcher?
But the so-called experts.
Then stop talking about this, because you are no expert.
The so-called experts failed the American people.
Listen, nor are you talking about people who are experts. Secretary Kennedy hasn't got a shred of medical knowledge. In fact, he's a quack. And others who speak out on these issues know not of what they speak. I'll listen to the medical profession, because I am not a doctor. I am not a researcher. I am a survivor of ovarian cancer. I know what biomedical research can do, and I put my faith and trust in the medical profession to do it, and not people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
All right, the only reason I play it is not for the content, but just the way these people carried the sharp contrast between how they acted and presented themselves.
Yeah.
That tells me a lot right there. That tells me who's really panicking at the moment.
And you know what the funny thing is, Jimmy, is that they always come up, our brothers and sisters, the politicians, everybody on the left always says, you're not a doctor, you're not a doctor. But yet they get involved in everything. For example, they're not doctors, and they're telling us that our kids' breasts can be chopped off, or that they can have an addictomy. They get involved in how many hours, what's the minimum wage. They get involved in every part of our lives, and they've never done a day's work.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I do want to kind of go a little educational route. So can you please explain to me what a government shutdown means and why, just really quickly?
So basically, and I'm sure Bo, you'll have a comment. Bo, do you have a comment on that?
No, it's something I don't have enough knowledge to share with you guys to be able to talk on it, to be honest.
All right. So basically what happens is there's supposed to be a bill brought forth in the budget or whatever to keep the government running. We hear about this all the time, that there might be a government shutdown because the funding bill wasn't passed. Well, the thing is in these funding bills, a lot of times, whether it's the Democrats or the rhinos or whatever, they put stuff in these bills so that, well, we got to fund the government, so we got to pass this bill. but it has this piece of legislation in there. So apparently with this one, there's a piece of legislation in there that says, hey, we need $1 trillion, $1 trillion to be able to pay health care for illegal aliens.
Right. And they're saying no. So that's the
And so
standstill.
exactly. So, the Republican side will say, no, we're not doing that. But so now the Dems will say, well, if you're not going to do that, then we're not going to pass this funding bill and we're going to shut the government down.
Yeah,
Because now we
that's
can't-
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. So I say shut it down personally.
All non-essential will be shut down.
Yeah.
Naturally, the Army will still be there. The air traffic controller.
Your
they're-
Medicare, your Medicare, all. Now, I think, and don't quote me on this, and I have to double check, but I think after a certain period of time, I think some of that essential stuff doesn't get paid. Don't quote me on that. Let me double check that. I'm gonna write that down.
So, yeah, definitely write that down because that's
But something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Rahm Emanuel said, "Never let a good crisis go to waste," and so Trump is always playing. Trump is the perpetual chess player. He's always looking for leverage, and he's using the Democrat handbook here. He's not going to let this good crisis go to waste, where a lot of people are going to get cut. A lot of non-essential things are going to get cut, and you don't have to hire them back. So the Democrats are playing with they're almost committing suicide in a lot of ways.
They absolutely are, because what's happening here is, Trump has said he wants to, lower the federal workforce. We need a smaller government.
Yes.
So what better way, and not have to go through any corrupt judges or anything like that? You have a shutdown, you can fire a bunch of people.
Yeah. So it's actually a good thing, in my opinion, or
Now,
other people who believe in that.
if you want to go down the rabbit hole, go back to my Facebook page and play that blonde lady that I posted.
Okay.
This one was pretty good. I saw this one earlier and I was like, I told my wife, I said, send that to me. I got to play that tonight.
All right. So
So-
let's play it.
So
It's already
this is
this morning. All the military brass are at Quantico, and Pete talked, and now President Trump's been talking. And if you paid attention, just like I did, he said it out loud. He was 45, 46, and 47. But he didn't want the credit for 46. That's big boom. Admitting it out loud, saying it in front of people. Secondly, I want to bring something to the forefront of your mind. Tomorrow is supposedly a government shutdown. And if it does happen, I want you to think about something that happened back on July 4th. We had a military big parade. Okay? Now, on that day, some big things happened. Melania stepped in front of President Trump, which is like a chess move. And what does that show you? Think about it. She's protecting her king. Okay? But the best part, and this should be a reminder, that everything that you've been seeing with Congress, a military gentleman brings a folded up flag to President Trump and presents it to him. That was huge. He said it was flying over Congress. And so what happens when you are presented with a folded up flag? What does that mean? They're no longer with us. So tomorrow, if we have a shutdown, we may come back to having no Congress at all. They're not there. This has all been to show you who's in control. And for those of you that don't think President Trump is smart enough to have figured all this out, you better rethink, because tomorrow. We don't have a Congress anymore, guys. They're dead. It was a great day.
That's the shit I like.
But she also walks the danger that if Congress does come back, she will be proven false. Let me just throw this at you.
That's true.
Let me just throw this at you. In my life, all the shutdowns that I have seen, that I've been aware of since the Jimmy Carter era, and if my memory serves me correct, I swear on a stack of New World Translation Bibles, which doesn't mean nothing. But anyways, I would, that every time there has been a government shutdown, you could go back, fact check me. The Republicans on the right, the people on the right, have always gotten the blame. If it was George Herbert Walker Bush, Ronald Reagan,
this is true.
They always get the blame. If there's something about this chess player by the name of Donald Trump where he's changing all the rules because the Democrats are getting the blame on this one. Even in the New York Times, the most liberal rag in the history of mankind. In the history of mankind, there's never, besides the Watchtower and Awake, has there been a more wrong? And they're blaming the Democrat Party. I mean, things are upside down.
See, this is why I think this is all coordinated in a way to wake people up. And here's the reason why I say this. Because a lot of folks that are center right, COVID woke up a lot of people, center to the right. It woke up a lot of people. It woke up some on the left, but not as many. Then the Charlie Kirk thing comes out, and you have a slew of those on the left that are like, I'm awake now. This is bullshit. And they're awake and they're starting to ask questions, and they're like, oh, I got a great clip we can play for that, Ruby. And I'll keep talking for a second, but go ahead and go to my Facebook page and scroll down till you see a little girl in a car to back up what I'm saying here. But I think now with the government shutdown, and it's the Democrats are being held responsible for this, that's going to wake up a lot more people as well that are on the left.
Is it the redhead in a car?
No, go back. I think you might have.
I think you passed it.
I think you passed it because it's a little girl and a little. I said something about they're waking up or whatever in the title as Patriot Princess.
Oh my.
That's who that is.
Yeah,
oh, I know I put it. Okay, scroll back down. Sorry. I may have posted it yesterday. I think I posted it last night.
Jimmy, thank you for explaining the shutdown. Thank you.
You're welcome. What was that one? No, not that one. The one above that one.
Above this one, Trump, the Great Awakening.
It was a young girl. You missed.
In the headline. What day? How far back are you now? I can't see.
September 27th.
So I posted yesterday, which would be going back up. But in the title, I said, go back up because in the title or my description, I say something about they're waking up or something like that. I know I posted it.
Aw, I don't see it. Oh, maybe it's not available. Yeah, it was removed probably. See, yesterday at 7:11 p.m. This content isn't available right now. Maybe it was this.
Oh, wow.
Seriously? Okay.
Maybe, because that's the only post from yesterday that we can't see.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not the only one experiencing that wonderfulness.
Wait. Yeah,
No,
play
this
that right
is
there.
it. Yeah,
play that. Now I'm gonna have to go. Yeah. Sorry.
Will y'all admit? Oh, I almost spilled my coffee. When will y'all admit that killing somebody over the words coming out of their mouth, their religious or political views, is a form of fascism? Y'all are bitching about fascism constantly, and you cannot give us a single fucking actual example of how the right is fascist. Jeez. And y'all are fucking killing people and celebrating it and calling us fascists. You're fucking retarded. That was mean. I'm autistic. autistic, I can say retarded. But that was me. Y'all aren't retarded, you're just incredibly misguided, and I apologize for being mean. I'm loud. And I was loud for the left. I was a loud Democrat. Back in 2020, I got the COVID-19 vaccination, and I said that you are evil if you don't get it. And now I have a clinical medical fucking heart condition that is an actual hindrance on my life that I did not have until after I got that fucking vaccination, which technically has nothing to do with what I'm saying, but forcing people. I was forced to get the vaccine. I was going to be fired from my job. I was trying to schedule appointments that I was not allowed to schedule until I got the fucking vaccination. And forcing people to get stuff injected into their body against their consent. Oh, it's my body, my choice, until it's fucking your choice. Yes, it makes no fucking sense to me, but I fucking digress. I was supposed to stop swearing, so actually I need to relax. But, like, it's fascism. It's a form of fascism. Like, y'all are forcing people to conform. You are trying to force people to believe a certain way. You are trying to force people to say certain things. And you're gonna fucking kill them. You're gonna freaking kill them if they don't conform. You're going to ostracize them, cut them out from your lives, convince everybody else to cut them out from their lives. You are a cult. No Republican has simply cut off people that they love from their lives because of their political views. Only Democrats do that. And as a former Democrat, I did that. Stop lying. I will be so much louder. So much. When?
So all I'll say to that, what's that, Bo?
I said I feel that girl's pain because I was vaccine injured.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, gave me a TIA.
TIA.
All I will say to that video is the work that so many have been doing to get information out there and try to help, educate folks. It's working.
Yep.
Welcome to the Great Awakening, folks. And there's stages to it. So she reached the stage with the COVID. People are reaching the stage with the CK thing. People are reaching the precipice with the whole government shutdown because they're going to, in their minds, they're going to think they're not going to get their Medicare checks. They're not going to get this. They're not going to get that. Now it's affecting them personally. Now they're going to pay attention to what's going on and put the blame where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what else too, Jimmy? I want to talk about the irony of this is that since Woodrow Wilson and the invention of fascism in America and the early European leaders like Hitler and Mussolini who copied it, they copied American influence in government and fascist views. If you study your history, even Joe Kennedy, do a Grok search or AI and ask it. They were influenced by the early fascist views, the Democrat Party. And guys that have been calling it out since the 1950s, Barry Goldwater, Ronald Reagan, Rush Limbaugh, Paul Harvey, we were all called stupid and nationalist. And we were called every name in the book. But everything our brothers before us said, it's all coming true today.
Yeah, 100%.
After they libeled and slandered our brothers to death.
Yep.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Netanyahu did that in this conference. I think Gigi made reference to this. I'm not sure. But I'm only going to play what he actually says and see if you can catch what he said.
Influencers? Okay. You said, we talked about the woke right. And you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant. The woke Reich. Because these people, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're loonies. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money.
Okay, so I'll pause it there.
What did I
That is evil.
What did I even say 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
I
He
know.
just admitted what I said about the base that Israel counts on.
It's the money.
They notice what he said, because he says the woke right. Okay, for lack of being politically correct, that is the Jewish Zionist part of America. They are in the pocket. They are wokish crap to this whole Israel charade. Okay, then you have the Christian Zionist. These were the ones Charlie Kirk was informing that, hey, maybe we should be asking some questions about Israel.
Yeah.
And he said, our base is being threatened.
Yes, but here's the thing. Interesting. Yes, you're right, Jimmy. Let me just add to that. That in the right, different than the Europe right that he calls the Hitler, the Third Reich. In the right is the party of Lincoln. It's the party of Teddy Roosevelt. It's the party of Ronald Reagan. It's where we go and debate. It's the party of Charlie Kirk. We fight things. Sometimes we get woke people. Sometimes we get crazy people. But we beat them on the primaries. We beat them back. But in our party, in the right, is where we debate things. In the left, they goose step to the jab. They goose step 100%. In the right, we fight each other. We're like cats. You can't rustle us. We never agree with each other. We all have different arguments. But Benjamin Netanyahu associating that with the right is so terrible, because so many people on the right gave their lives fighting the advance of fascism. They died in Normandy. They died in Salerno. They died in Italy. They died in North Africa fighting the fascists. So people on the right, even if they are far right, they gave their lives fighting the advance of Nazism and fascism. So that's why I think Benjamin Netanyahu, man, he owes us an apology.
Well, see, I have to disagree with that, because I'm trying not to, this whole right-left thing. We have said for many shows, it's not right versus left, but it's good versus evil is what we're fighting. So, in my opinion, there are people that are far right that are as delusional as those that are far left.
Yes. Yeah. And Ronald Reagan said, there really is no left and right. There's only up and down.
Well, that's the way it should be.
You either elevate the human race or you lower the human race.
I can't disagree with that.
Good one. Yes. All right, everybody. It is midnight. Thank you so much for everybody joining.
Thank you.
Does anybody want to get last comments real quick for everybody that's on
If anybody
stage?
has one, yeah, go right ahead.
Can I ask Bo a question? Hey, Bo, I used to watch your videos all the time on YouTube. Do you have another podcast that you're on? Or do you not want
No, I'm not even supposed to be talking about religion for legal reasons.
For what reasons?
Legal reasons.
Oh, wow.
You can talk about other topics? No.
I can talk about other topics, but I can't talk about religion.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
That hurts.
Yes,
I
it's my favorite topic.
I used to watch your videos all the time.
Yeah. So if you're wondering why I don't do anything on my channel and stuff, it's because I was instructed by my attorney not to.
Yeah, I saw that last video where you said that, but I thought you were under another name, an alias or something.
No, I don't do anything. The only time you're gonna see me is when I'm with Ruby and Jimmy. It's the only time if I put something out there, it's not. It's only because something is going on that I have to say something. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that
Hey,
does.
hey, Bo, I got a suggestion for you. You can do it. It's kind of a shameless plug for our show as well. But if you could do a video on your channel, I know you did one today, real quick. But maybe your viewers, those that like your political stuff, they may be interested in what we talk about here, and you can say that you're a regular over here and you talk about stuff here too. So if they want to catch you,
That's a really good idea, guys. I don't know why I never done. I mean, to do that, I will actually do that in the next couple of days.
Nice.
Cool.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, I can't wait for next week.
Yeah, next Tuesday. Hop on earlier, guys. You can hop on whenever you want. We've been kind of free flowing it the past few Tuesdays. Like literally nothing that we spoke about today did Jimmy and I discuss beforehand. Like we literally threw it together live.
You know what? I'm taking the advice of one of our viewers, and I hope she doesn't mind that I call her out. But Lisa Sands, she did make a comment. I don't know where she made the comment. Maybe it was a message I got, but she said she likes the show better when we're doing it in a conversational style, like we've been doing it the last 2 weeks.
Okay. I thought we almost did
So now. There's going to be times we have these, but there's going to be times when we have a schedule of stuff we got to talk about.
Right.
We can be like, all right, this is what we're talking about. Now we're going here.
So we got homework to do. We all have homework for next week.
We do.
So just to recap for the homework, we have go watch the Europe of the Last Battle.
Snake Eyes.
And Snake Eyes, which I need to watch that. Then I have on homework, I need to find out the 7 wars that Trump stopped, the Red Cross rabbit hole,
Wow.
the Sophia doll. Bo, you might need to take the lead on that one, brother.
I think of Chucky when I hear this one.
Yeah, we're just gonna adopt you as another co-host. Is that okay, Ruby?
Yes, yes.
Then we have the history of Sophia. And then I got to find out about, the money that the government shut down and if that runs out. So whenever that runs out.
Jimmy.
Yeah, go ahead, Jesse. Go ahead.
On the 7 wars that Trump stopped, I wish you would invite me to talk. Maybe I could talk, we and you can talk for half an hour or so, or 20 minutes to 15 minutes, because if you don't mind, I'd like to, Watchtower in September has been hitting the peace thing. That only God. But I really believe that Jesus said, blessed are the peacemakers. We're not stupid. We know there's always going to be wars. Just like Jesus said, we'll always have poor.
Right.
But at least you try to bring peace. And that's what I disagree with Watchtower. And I'm not talking, am I talking religion? I don't mean to be. But I always see it through the prism of, hey, I know there's going to be war. But Jesus says, at least try to fix something. Don't just sit there and wait for God.
And Trump is the only one doing that.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's like that's eye-opening. It's like, why is he the only one talking about it?
I honestly think that we're going to get to a point in history where people are going to be blown away when they find out the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes. Wow. It's going to blow people's minds.
One more movie. If you haven't seen did you guys see the new Mission Impossible? And I know.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so we got to talk about that movie. So, Jimmy, if you don't mind, write that down, the new Mission Impossible. It reminded me of you, to be honest, with the whole information war. They talk about that in the movie.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's so many parallels, Jimmy. It's insane.
Yeah.
Is it out in the theaters now?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that you can watch it on
3 months ago.
Prime, I think.
Yeah.
You can rent it.
Yeah, you can because
I don't watch many movies, but I'll watch it.
Yeah, and the president is a black chick, so I was like, oh my word, we gotta talk about that movie. So everybody, write that down in your list.
So she was the second black chick president.
Was there another black chick? No, I don't think so.
No.
There wasn't a chick. He wasn't a chick.
She was good anyway. The lady who played the part. Hey, Jesse, will you give my regards to Gilbert, please?
Yeah, he's scared. He saw Mission Impossible, and then he read the Watchtower away, and he's in a bunker.
Oh my God.
Stop playing with me, Jesse.
Tell him to watch The Accountant too. Tell him to watch The Accountant too.
He's not talking to me no more. He broke up with me and doesn't write me no more.
I also want to give a shout out to the folks in the chat, our every week viewers. We average about 400 views on our videos between my channel and Ruby's channel. It's not super huge or anything. I mean, it's fair.
No, that's a lot. Sorry for somebody like me. Who as crazy as the things I say.
The best.
So we appreciate you guys. And if you find our information valuable, pass it on to others. Have them come in and watch what we're doing. We just want people to start talking and asking questions about things. That's it.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, the Great Awakening. I believe that. And And you know,
Hey,
we'll
Ruby,
see.
if the I don't know if it's better than Rick Fearon's, but your chat is great.
Yeah,
I love the chat.
It's always on fire. I love it.
Yeah.
So thank
Well,
you
yeah,
guys for
because we
watching.
can exchange back and forth. You can't do that on Rick's. It's just one caller. But here we can share information and get educated.
Good point, Gigi. I stand corrected.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
and you
I'm
guys
not
can
correcting
join.
you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
and I love it when you guys join too, because I learned a lot of new things here as well. You know what I'm saying? Nothing was planned.
Yeah, I didn't know about the Sophia doll, so thanks, Bo.
I didn't know about that, but
You're welcome.
It reminds me of Chucky.
Yeah. Next week though, is there any chance we can get Ruby to answer the question what she thinks aliens are?
Oh, I did a whole episode on that. You're gonna have to go to season 1.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan did a whole thing on aliens versus demons. You got to watch that clip with Tucker.
We always have something we could talk about every freaking Tuesday.
Oh yeah, there's never a dull moment.
Just stay tuned. There's more to come.
When Bo described demons, I was just gonna say ditto to his comment. Just ditto. I agree.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I did. We did a whole episode about that, Bo, in season 1, and all of those old videos are in Jimmy's channel. So I'm gonna have to find it and then either share it to you somehow, because we really went into that, and I was very I hesitated. I did. I was very I was open but respectful, and I was just like, you know.
Yeah, if you guys can get that and send it to me, I'd like to go and watch it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, and everybody have a good weekend.
Okay,
yes,
Gigi.
have a good night,
Jimmy.
everybody.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Good night, y'all. Thank you.
Bye.
Trump, yeah. Okay, bury him a legend, yeah. Trump, hey. Okay, America's biggest blessing. Free speech advocate, packing, never lacking it. I just bought another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gang. Okay, the White House going crazy now. MAGA season, tell them liberals they can't break us down. It's up, they know we run it, best believe it now. About to paint the city red, please don't burn it down.